time to do it all again, baby. We have had a weekend so far. Hey guys, how you going? So BKRsport, cheeky stuff in the last game. Well, we just finished up as the Newcastle Knights. Very cheeky result. Very, very cheeky. Beating out the Bulldogs in Sydney. Wow, what a performance there. That is scary things there for the Bulldogs because they're not beating the attacking allegations and their defense, well, they gave up quite a few points in that one. 24 points to 16 they lost. And now every favourite this weekend is on high alert. Every one of these big-time teams at the top, they are on high alert right now because we have seen the Tigers as a team that nobody thought would go over New Zealand win. They won 32 points to 14 over there in New Zealand. We saw the Newcastle Knights go to Sydney away from home. No one thought the Knights would beat the Bulldogs, especially with the Knights having no Dylan Brown, no Callum Ponga. Tigers had no Jerome Luai. Well, the Knights went and beat the Bulldogs 24 to 16. So the teams up the top of the table right now, oh, they're looking very, very fraud-alerty. But for the time being, it's just a 1-10 fraud alert at the moment because they should have been a lot better. They should have been, and they are on the fraud alert for the time being until proven otherwise. But let's get into this game here today, guys, between the Panthers and Eels. Don't forget, after this one, we'll be live straight away for the North Queensland Cowboys versus the Melbourne Storm. And look, shit, I'm sick of tipping right now. You know, I may spontaneously combust. If we now go on to see the Eels win. And then if we see the Cowboys beat the Storm, that'll do me. I'll be done. I think we'll all be done at that point. Wow, that would just send us over the Richter scale. That would just send us to another damn well planet if we see 3 upsets here today. But all right, let's get into this game here between the Panthers and Eels. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. We're on our way to 50k now. We've gone past 40k. Now we're on our way to 50k. The Panthers, they're on first position with the big loss to the Warriors last night. The Panthers didn't even need to play, and they jumped up a spot. And the Eels, they're in a 10th position. But are they now after the games? No, they're actually in 9th. Now, after some of the games have been played, who would have jumped above them? Oh, maybe the Dolphins lost. Who jumped above the... who dropped below the Eels? I'm not too sure, because they were originally in 10th before the round started, as it shows on the screen, but... for some reason, they're in 9th now. I can't think of why they've actually jumped a spot already. But anyway, it is what it is. So the 2 team loves today. This is at CommBank Stadium in Sydney, the home of the Eels, but this is a home game for the Panthers because their stadium is currently still being rebuilt. Pretty much the exact same thing. But there's no ins and outs by the Penrith Panthers here. No ins and outs. The fullback is Dylan Edwards, with the wingers being Thomas Jenkins and Brian To'o. Centres of Paul Alamotti and Casey McLean. The 5'8 is Blaise Salungi, with the halfback being Nathan Cleary, who is the captain. And then the front row forwards are Moses Leota and Lindsay Smith. The number 9 is Mitch Kenny. Back row of Isaiah Papali'i and Liam Martin, with the 13 being Isaiah Yeo. And the interchange is Billy Phillips, Scott Sorensen, Luke Garner, Isaac Tungo, Freddie Lussick and Jack Cole, with the coach being Ivan Cleary. The Panthers so far this season, they won 26-0 against the Broncos at Suncorp. They won against the Sharkies 26 points to 6 at Carrington Park in Bathurst. And then they played the Roosters and they whooped them 40 points to 4 last week at Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Home, way, doesn't matter. This is actually technically their first home game at CommBank Stadium this year. They did play the home game at Bathurst against the Sharkies, but this is their first time here at CommBank for this year. This Panthers team is just a juggernaut. They really are, man. You know, they just know how to win. Nathan Cleary is unbelievable. Blaise Salungi, I think, is going to have a really good year off the back of Cleary here. Their back line is so strong and so powerful. Thomas Jenkins currently leading the try scorer list. He scored 2 tries in his first week against the Broncos, 2 tries in the second week against the Sharkies, and then 4 tries against the Sydney Roosters last week, beating out Mark Nuanatuase a couple of times. It's just so strong, you know, and right now I think there's a pretty clear leader as the premiership favourite as we speak, and that is the Penrith Panthers. But let's see today, Warriors were looking good. They fell apart to the Tigers. Bulldogs you would expect to be up there. They fell apart to the Knights, so let's see if the Panthers can, beat out this underdog Parramatta team and really assert their dominance at the top, because they will be the clear leaders at the top. They'll be the only team on 8 points after 4 rounds if they are to win this game, because the Tigers have had a bye. And the Rabbitohs have now had a bye, so they both have played 3 games. With that being said, though, the Tigers have lost a game to the Rabbitohs, and the Rabbitohs have lost a game to the Roosters. So the Panthers wouldn't have had a bye, and they would have won all 4 of their games. So that is just how dominant this Panthers team is currently looking. If they can get this win here today, if they can't, Parramatta really do start to, bounce back up after that massive loss to the Storm, 52-4 in week 1. They really would start to come back into the conversation for, top 8 and to really have that better year that we were expecting pre-season before that massive loss in round 1 to the Melbourne Storm. The forward pack of the Panthers here, it's just incredible, and I just don't see them losing today. But then again, I didn't see the Warriors losing, and I saw the Warriors losing more than the Bulldogs did, and then I didn't see the Bulldogs losing. The Warriors was just a really typical loss in a game they really should have been winning, which is what we've seen quite a bit over them in their history. But the Panthers, look, they're looking red hot right now. Their attack hasn't exactly been clicking prior to last week, and then it really clicked last week, but even when it wasn't necessarily clicking, they still scored 26 points against the Broncos and the Sharkies. So that's his Panthers team. The Eels, on the other hand, their ins, Brian Kelly and Luca Moretti, with the outs being Jermaine Hopgood and Jordan Samrani. I believe Jermaine Hopgood is actually out for the season, which is a brutal loss for them there. Now, the fullback is Isaiah Yongi, with the wingers being Bailey Simonson and Josh Adokar, centres of Brian Kelly and Sean Russell. The 5'8" is Jonah Pezzett, with the halfback being Mitchell Moses, who is the captain. Then you go to the front row forwards, Jack Williams and Judy Bolo, with the number 9 being Riley Smith. The back row is Kelma Tuolangi, who has been great this season, and Gitiona Kautonga. 13 is Dylan Walker. Interchange, Talon Silva, Sam Tuiveti, Matt Dury, Luca Moretti, Charlie Guymer, George Papali'i, and the coach is Jason Riles. You do have to forgive me today a little bit, guys. I am quite sick, but I am doing my best, so I hope I'm still performing as per normal for you guys. But I am quite sick, so if I do sound a little bit down or I have to mute more often than not, it is because I'm quite sick. But this Eels team, hopefully they're not quite sick today. They're going to have a monstrous effort to have to beat this Panthers juggernaut as we currently speak. Again, the Panthers haven't lost yet. The Eels have had that one loss to the Storm, 52-4 in week 1, before beating the Broncos 40-32 at Suncorp Stadium, and then 30-20 over the Dragons last week. I didn't think that was an exceptional performance, but the Dragons were simply the Dragons in that game. Had a very winnable game there and still found a way to lose it, which was what the Dragons did. And against the Broncos, they scored 40 points, which is great, but at that time the Broncos were looking really, really poor. And still got 32 points there. So, look, you have to wait 5 to 7 rounds to get a good read. The Broncos, those first 2 games now are looking like the Panthers and Eels were just too good for them, considering they've won their next 2 games against the Dolphins and also the first or second place Dolphins, as people told us in the chat last night. First and second place Dolphins. And then the other win was against... Who was the other win for the Broncos? Last week. Broncos actually play the Titans next week. That's right, against the Storm. Massive result there for them. So look, the Eels, that game against the Broncos does look a little bit better for them now. Even though they gave up 32 points in that game, they still scored 40. They're just a hard team to read because I did predict them to be having a better year this year. I do think that they're a pretty good team overall. I put them for 9th on the basis that they're still quite inconsistent for mine. I don't know what to expect. Again, they've lost 52-4 and also had 2 other wins. So that is the proof of inconsistency right there. And Parramatta overall are just a team that you would never back in for the consistency. But is there a chance they go and win this game today? There is. The last couple of games have proven that as well with the upsets. And the Eels do have a bit of a sneaky record against the Panthers in recent years. It's not like it's a real massive bogey team, but in like the regular season, I feel like they've been able to play it quite well against the Panthers. The last time they played last year, it was a 32-10 win for the Panthers over the Eels last year in the round 19 game, but in round 13, it was the Panthers win by 18 points to 10. So that's a pretty close game there in 2024. But they did win both their games against them last year, the Panthers. And this is I'm saying this because we have had a notion in the chat that the Eels have beaten the Panthers in recent years quite a bit. But they're actually just competing with them. And that's a good sign, but they're competing with them. They're not winning against them because in their round in 2024, they lost 36-34 to the Panthers. And that was with like 3 tries in the last 9 minutes for the Panthers to win that game. But it was 36-34 to Penrith. And then the previous matchup there, when it was in Penrith, the Panthers ended up winning 26 points to 18. So they haven't actually won against them in their last 4 performances, but there has been a couple of really close results as well. We go back to 2023, and this is what you're thinking about. They won 32-18 in round 26 of the season when Panthers were already on top, and it was kind of, they were already... I actually think Panthers might have rested a few players in this game. I could be wrong. I'm going to quickly go and have a look. Jenkins was in the team just then. They didn't rest any players. They didn't, but it was a bit of a different team. They had Tyron Peach in the centres and Thomas Jenkins on the wing and whatnot. But the Eels did win that one 32-18. That was all the way back in 2023. And the earliest season matchup between the two was 17-16 win for the Eels. So if you're thinking about the Eels being like a bogey team, you really do have to go back to 2023. For that to be the case. So that's a long time between drinks. But the point of the matter is that they have still made really close games against them, and hopefully they have another close game here today. But if the Panthers keep playing like they have so far throughout this season, it's going to be very difficult to see the the Eels get a win because they have just been so incredible to watch. In regards to the first 7 rounds of the Panthers, obviously they are 3-0 already. By the end of the 7th round, like they would be expecting to win this game here against the Eels, but they've got 2 games here against the Storm and the Bulldogs right on afterwards, which is just full on, man. That's a really, really good test there for the Panthers across their next 2 games after this. Friday night next week, Panthers Storm at CommBank, massive. And then the Bulldogs, well, geez, they had a disappointing performance. They get to play next week, I think, against the Rabbitohs, but they're definitely looking towards that Panthers game as well now. And then the Panthers will play the Dolphins. So this is a tough schedule after this early bounce, but they've also had a really tough schedule anyway, and they're 3-0. Broncos Premiership from last year. Sharkies were prelim finalists last year, and the Roosters were a top 8 team last year. And now they take on the Eels, who look a lot better right now. The Storm, who were grand finalists last year and always, there or thereabouts. The Bulldogs, who were unbelievable last year, came third, and had the best defense in the comp. They play them, and then they play the Dolphins, who, apparently they're first or second based off of the chat, but have been very up and down. So across these first 7 rounds, with a 3-0 start, I think on their standards, they should start 6-1. Because I could give them that grace period of losing to either the Storm or the Bulldogs there, more so to the Storm, who did beat them last year, more so to the Storm, but I think it would be disappointing. Based off of a 3-0 start, you wouldn't have been thinking 6-1 at the start of the season, but now that we've seen 3 games and they've won them convincingly across all 3, I think there's an entire chance they could go 7-0, but also the 6-1 is pretty likely, and 5-2 is still not bad. It's still really good and really setting up the foundation, but realistically you'd probably be looking at 2 losses out of the Storm and the Bulldogs, maybe at worst one of the Eels or the Dolphins. I think that overall 6-1 is actually looking quite likely here for the Panthers, provided they win here today. Because if they lose this one, then I don't think they win all 3 of their games against the Storm, the Bulldogs, and the Dolphins. But we'll see. So either way, I think that a success is definitely 5-2. A major success is 6-1, and perfect is obviously 7-0, which again for this Panthers juggernaut is possible to be at, and that will really start to worry the rest of the competition. For the Eels on the other side, obviously they've won 2 games and they've lost 1 game, 52-4 to the Storm. Then they beat Broncos 40-32 and the Dragons 30-20. They play the Panthers here today, the Tigers next week in an interesting game at CommBank, the Titans at CommBank Stadium, and then the Bulldogs in a rivalry game at CommBank Stadium in round 7. They actually don't leave Sydney for a while now. Their last game outside of Sydney was actually against that Broncos team at Suncorp, and then they play Dragons at home, they play the Panthers basically at home, the Tigers at home, the Titans at home, the Bulldogs at home, and then Manly at 4 Pines Park, and then the Warriors at CommBank Stadium again. They don't leave Sydney, and they only play outside of CommBank Stadium once, but they don't leave Sydney until round 10 against the Cowboys, which is a really, really great home stretch here for Parramatta. I do think that comes into the equation, but across the next 4 games, a Panthers win is not expected. The Tigers game is going to be hard. Titans, they should be expecting to win against, and then the Bulldogs is going to be a really hard game. So considering that 2-1, I do think 4-3 should be a successful marker for them, because that would then just represent they get 2 wins out of the next 4, ultimately probably being Titans and the Tigers, despite how poor the Dogs looked in that last game. You'd probably be targeting those games to be 4-3. If you're anything above that, that's an incredible start for your season, despite the fact that you started off with a 50-point slap-up against the Storm. I think if you're anything above 4-3, if you get to 5-2, that's an incredible start there for Parramatta. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. If you win today, it's a good chance of happening, really. If you win today, it would be a good chance of happening. But I will say a 4-3 there for the Eels, based off of what we're seeing as we speak. And then in regards to the ladder here, game starts in 3 minutes' time, guys. The Parramatta Eels, they're in 9th position on 4 points, which is equal with the Storm, the Dolphins. Not the Knights. Let me refresh that. Which is equal. So they're in 10th now. They're in 10th now. They're below the Broncos. I didn't refresh it from last night. They're below the Broncos after their win. So they're equal with the Storm on 4, the Dolphins on 4, Broncos on 4, and the Roosters on 4. Now the Eels have a minus 30 points differential. Roosters are minus 35, but they have a bye next week too. Broncos are minus 16, Dolphins are plus 8, and the Storm are plus 70. Now if the Eels were to win this game, they would go above those into 7th position, above the Storm and the Dolphins. Above the Storm, but the Storm do play the Cowboys later on tonight. They would have to win this game by 27 points or more to go above the Bulldogs. That's just simply not happening. So if they won by a lot, then there's a chance they could even finish in 5th, because the Rabbitohs are only on plus 6. but you would need to win by 27 points or more to go above the Bulldogs. It's not happening. So 7th position is where you would be, but you'd probably finish off the weekend in 8th because you would assume the Storm beat the Cowboys tonight. If they don't, then you finish off the weekend in 7th. If you lose this game, however, now you would have to lose by 5 points or more to go below the Roosters into 11th position. And then either the Sharks or the Raiders would jump above you. Now, the Sharks would immediately jump above you with a win. The Raiders are on minus 37. So if you lose this game by 8, you're already below them as well. So, yeah, you'd be going down into 12th regardless. And then if the Cowboys were to beat the Storm, you would go down into 13th because the Cowboys are minus 24 as it is. And anybody else can jump you? No. So the lowest you can go is 13th. The highest that you can go is 7th, but probably 8th is where you'd be looking at. For the Panthers, if you win, you're on 6 points. You win, you're the only team on 8 points. You're the only team undefeated so far this season. Your points differential is already plus 8-2. You're loving that. If you win, you're in first. If you lose this game, as long as you don't lose by 26 points, you will finish off the round in... Oh, not necessarily, actually. If you lose this game by 26 points or more, you go below the Warriors into second. But then you've got to watch that Storm game, because if the Storm then beat the Cowboys by... well, if you lose by 26 points, the Storm just need to win. They'll go into first. But outside of that, if you win this game by 1 point, the Storm, because they're plus 70, if they win by 14 points against the Cowboys, you would go into second even with a win here. So that is... Oh, sorry, not with a win, with a loss. So if you lose by 2 points, you go to plus 80. And then the Storm, if they won by 10 points or more, they'd go above you into first position. With a win, you're first place. My brain just didn't brain for a second then. So overall, more than likely, you are just going to sit in first position by the end of this round. But if you lose, you just don't want to see the Storm winning or by, enough of a margin to adjust that 12-point swing overall. But I am tipping the Panthers here. I think they should be too good. Parramatta should give a bit of a showing. They do fight hard, but the Panthers have just looked so dominant so far this season, and I do think they continue to look dominant here in this game. But all right, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get into the chat, and let's fire it up for another game before later on we finish off the day with the Storm versus the Cowboys, and then tomorrow, obviously, we'll be live as the Raiders take on the Sharks in a belter, and the Titans go undefeated for the rest of the season in their start-up against the Dragons. Ruziate says, who won, Bulldogs or Knights? The Newcastle Knights won, man. They won nicely as well, 24-16. Bulldogs didn't look the goods in that game. Swift says, hey Blaze, big Dragons fan here. What are your thoughts on Saints signing Sami? I loved watching him play throughout the years, but I'm not sure if he's what we need right now. It's an interesting signing. We're not unhappy about it. Love Phillip as a guy, as a man. But as a player, I am okay moving in a different direction. But with that being said, he'll put in a good effort for you guys, and I think your biggest priority signing from the Titans would actually be more of an AJ Brimson. But the Panthers have kicked this ball off, and the Eels give it to Jonah Pezzett, and then off to Jack Williams, who brings this ball out to the 10, and then gets taken back inside his own 8. Now let me just refresh this score, so you get the live score below us, and then we're rocking and rolling. Good atmosphere here at Combank right now. Very good atmosphere. Sano says, I'm tempted to change my tip to Parramatta. They have been a bogey team with the Panthers. No, they haven't been, especially after Bulldogs tilted me last game. They haven't beaten the Panthers in 3 years, man. They're not a bogey team with the Panthers, but they've fought hard against them, but they haven't beaten them since 2023. So 4th tackle now for the Eels, and they're going to beat the 30. Those last couple of games, though, I can understand why you're tempted to do it. Eels are coming off the back of 2 wins, but the Panthers are coming off the back of 3 really clean wins against better opposition as well. So I am pretty strong with Panthers, but anything can happen right now, man. Like, could it happen? Yes, the Eels could win this game. Am I going to tip it? No, I'm not. If the Eels win, I'm going to spontaneously combust because I'm sick of tipping. Thomas Jenkins will bring this ball out now to the 25 on first tackle. Roger says Warriors are still second. Not if the Storm win. Not if the Storm win, they're not. If the Storm win their game, they are above the Warriors. The Warriors will go down to 3rd position, and that's the lowest that you can go, yeah. But the Warriors would need the Panthers to lose by 26 here to go above the Panthers back into first, and then they would have to hope the Storm go and lose to the Cowboys. Moses Leota, he'll bring this ball to the 45 on the Eels side of the field on 5th tackle. Hubbard says Panthers 32-18 Eels. Darian says, greetings, Panthers likely win, but would like to see an upset. I think everyone would love to see an upset here. Good chase here from Alamotti, and he will slap a Yongi down at the 18 on first tackle. Brian says, Panthers jersey's clean. I've got to be a callback to the 2003 Grand Final jersey. Yeah, it does look nice here, man. Yeah, that like teal-coloured blue with the black is definitely kind of a throwback to around 2003. Sana says, well, never mind. I was close to changing, but it's too late now. I don't think the other games they're not not mutually exclusive, man. Like, at the end of the day, one second, Eels will be taking up the 45. I don't think I said that right. But anyway, the point of the matter is that they're separate to this. So don't think just because we've seen upsets in other games that then justifies an upset in this game. But it does give you that emotion, that feeling towards it, obviously. Fit tackle now at the 45. Pink doesn't suit Penrith. I actually love it when they're wearing the pink. I think pink definitely suits Penrith. Margaret says, Matt Ballin to formally apply for Manly coach. Is he the guy? Well, they got Kieran Foran until the end of the year. Well, we'll see how that pans out. It'll all depend on how Foz gets him going in these next couple of rounds and by about round 15 before they really make a decision overall. But it's just funny with Kieran Foran, second tackle for the Panthers at the 20. It's funny with Foz because he was literally playing for the Titans in round 27 last year, and now he's a head coach for the rest of 2026. So it's an immediate jump into the fire for him. Isaiah Papali'i, this is a good set here. They've already got to the 40. They'll get past the 50 on fit tackle, which is a strong set. And Lindsay Smith at the 50 on fit tackle. Big Homie Davis Parra's with bogey team, wrong. Of the lady last few years, wrong. They have not beaten them since 2023. I wouldn't put it past the Eels to get up today. Yeah, again, wrong. Again, they compete well with them, but they have not beaten them since 2023. Guys, we need to get rid of this bogey team thing from the Eels over the Panthers. They beat them in 2023. They have not beaten them since. They've played each other 4 times, and the Panthers have won all 4 times. So, no, in the last couple of years, they have not been the bogey team. But because of how well they played them in 2023, and maybe before, it gives you that inkling. And also, the Eels could win this game, but it's not because they're a bogey team with the Panthers, because they have lost the last 4 straight games against them. So the Eels, Dylan Walker, he'll be at the 42 on 4 tackle. And Nikhil says, good evening, BKR community. Could be an exciting game. Hopefully it is an exciting game. Yeah, Eels used to be a bogey side, but as of late it's been all Panthers. Exactly right, Draz. I'll agree with that one, because you can't say a team is a bogey side when they've lost the last 4 games against them. A couple of them blowouts and the other, that's going to go out. No, it's not going to go out. That's actually going to bounce well here for the Eels, and Panthers get the ball at 10. First tackle. Well, the Eels do need to get physical from the start. They need to come in with and penalty to Panthers. That is the worst thing that could have possibly happened. It was looking really positive for the Eels, and they give away a penalty like that. That is brutal. Home of the NRL says, what a Jersey, man, did so well. I'll say Eels keep it close, but then Panthers put on a few tries at the end, 28-10. Yeah, it'd be nice to see. That would be nice to see. But yeah, Brian Tuttle grabs it. Addo-Carr gets him, and then Addo-Carr gives away the penalty. So it'll be Panthers at the 45 on their own side of the field. Jimmy James says, I'm going to tip the Panthers to win. That way Para will win if my tipping keeps going the way it's been going lately. But the thing is, Jimmy, when you complain about your tipping, just know that pretty much everyone's in the same problematic tipping situation as you. It's not like you're just tipping them all wrong. Everyone, unfortunately, pretty much is. Good run over the Panthers. And they'll get this ball to the 30. Casey McLean, second tackle. Arguably 6 again. Didn't call it though. Isaiah Papali'i, he is 20 metres out from the line. I wouldn't actually mind seeing a Moses Leota try here today. I feel like they could really get through with these forwards. Isaiah, Nathan Cleary, short ball. And it'll be Liam Martin, 5 metres away from the line, 4 tackle. They roll it back, they go quickly, Nathan Cleary. He'll pass it across now to Leota. Leota runs it himself. Oh, so close to calling that try, literally on the dot too. Fit tackle, they get it across. Tracks over the Panthers under the post, and it is. Isaiah Yeo goes bang. The man on the thumbnail, Isaiah Yeo, will score the try under the post, and it is 4-0 with the kit to come. Seven says fraudulent round 4, 3 games of footy. Yeah, that's great, but also the Bulldogs had high expectations this year, and they've already disappointed. So fraudulent, absolutely. Yep. Troy Fitzsimmons says, damn, all my picks this week, I have 0. You have 0? You tipped Manly over the Roosters? Why did you tip Manly over the Roosters? I tipped the Dolphins as well, and I also tipped the Warriors, but I don't know how you wouldn't have tipped the Roosters over Manly, even though that looked worrying at one stage of that game. All right, sure, it's over to Panthers already. And Isaiah Yeo, he will be the one to get it done. Home of the NRL says, hasn't there been a breach notice for Yongi after there was a photo of him smoking something? Yeah, I think you're right. Did he miss? I think he missed last week's game, did he? Or is it this week's? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's happened with that. Sean says, after last game, I don't know what is going to happen. Correct, but also, just because the Knights have a good result against the Bulldogs and because the Tigers have a good result against the Warriors doesn't necessarily mean the Eels will then have a good result here against the Panthers. I get the emotion and the feeling behind it, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I understand that we are seeing a lot of upsets and whatnot, but if people have this weird misconception that the Eels are a bogey team for the Panthers, and it's just not necessarily the truth. The Panthers have been so dominant so far this season. They are a different breed to what the Warriors are, and they are a different breed to what the Bulldogs are. and you should have a lot more confidence in what this Panthers team will bring than those teams. But it is rugby league. It is unpredictable. Yes, the Eels could win this game. At the end of the day, it is two teams playing against each other, and one team will come out as a winner. So on that note, it's 50-50. But also the Panthers have been so good throughout this season that should give you the confidence. So whilst I understand the emotion behind it, I don't think that just because of previous results of other teams and other games should translate into this game. Do you understand what I'm saying? Home of the NRL says, what a step by Leota. Mate, Leota's on fire, man. Leota, he's on fire. Michael says, got to back Foz. He seems like a humble guy. Kieran Foran, I know Kieran, you know. He's a really good man. You know, even when I left and have still left, we still touch base with each other from time to time. He just is a really, really good guy. Who's had a real tough go at it in life, but he's worked hard and he keeps on doing his very best in life. But he has had a really tough go with a lot of situations, and you know, I really want to see the best of success for him. So if he is their head coach, I will. My love for Manly will actually go up rather than I won't hate Manly, because I want to see Foz be successful in life. I want to see him keep succeeding because he deserves it. Dylan Edwards now, he'll get that ball off to Blaze Talangi, and Talangi will get the ball to the 45 on fit tackle. Justin Sunder says, Seven, they're lucky they aren't on scam. I get the point of why it's only 4 rounds in, but also they deserve to be on fraud alert right now. And I even had Bulldogs fans on my Instagram say, put it larger. I even had them say, put fraud alert on larger for the Dogs, because it was disgusting. First chance try. Gee whiz, how do you stop them? How do you stop them? Parramatta now up to 23. And that's why I really like, it's going to be first tackle for them. That's why I really like third tackle for them, now 4th tackle at 30. I really like that I'm able to take a step back nowadays with all the streaming that I do and all the creation I do across all teams. I don't have that hatred anymore, so I can just respect the success of it all, respect the quality of it all, and I really enjoy watching the Panthers play because they do play a really quality brand of footy. Oh, that's a bad pass there from Parramatta, but they will get the ball 35 metres out, fit tackle. It's just really enjoyable to watch them play. So they'll kick that ball down to the 10, where Thomas Jenkins now brings this ball out here to the 20. He's been unbelievable so far this season. The highest try scorer in the year so far, Jenkins. But back when you kind of only watch your team, or you're just passionately supporting your team, and you'll tune into games every now and then, you don't really have that want to just like care about how a team is going in a way. You know, you don't really want to enjoy how another team is going besides your own. So that's why I'm really kind of grateful how my mindset is nowadays. Blaze Talangi at the 45 and 4 tackle. 10 minutes gone here, guys. 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Edwards, quick passing. Thomas Jenkins on the wing at the 30, at the 25. Gets the offload away to Case McLean. And McLean is 24 metres out on fit tackle. 10 minutes gone. This is ominous start. Fear from Penrith. Nathan Cleary back on the inside. Knock on from the Eels. And that was all off the back of Cleary getting a bit of a flick away. A knock on from the Eels. It's still 6 again. They're going to say knock on from the Panthers, but they'll go back to the original knock on against the Eels. Cleary steps in, has a bit of a line break, but then he does pass it, and the Eels put a hand out and stops it. Yeah, good step in. I don't think that's classed as a line break, but either way, it was good play there from Cleary. And then Jack Williams with a knock on. Justin Sano says, William Mason said the Panthers don't mind holding down when they're on the back foot on the first tackle to give away 6 again to reset, and they will go harder for that. Absolutely, because then that gets their line sorted. So if they deliberately give away the 6 again, it doesn't really hurt you too much if you don't do it a ridiculous amount of times. So they'll deliberately do it to get their defensive line set, and then you can't break through them. You know, they are a very, very smart team, the Panthers, and that's why Isaiah Yeo may not be, you know, your most attacking, even though he scored a try here today, he's not your most attacking lock, he's not your most exciting lock, but he is an incredibly smart lock, and he really sorts his team out from that 13. Nathan Cleary, short ball to the line, Isaiah Babali, trots over the Panthers. This is looking dangerous from Penrith right now. Call me a circle jerker. Tell me I got my pants off like Michael Ennis does when he watches Panthers games, because I will say it how it is. How do you stop this team right now? They have been so good in all 3 games, and they already look fantastic in the first 10 minutes of this game. Now, the Eels defensively are not fantastic, and this is why I kept saying to people, calm down in regards to the upset here. I don't think it's likely compared to the other Tigers, Warriors, and Bulldogs Knights games. The Eels so far this season are giving up points for fun. 52 points against the Storm, 32 points against the Broncos, 20 points against the Dragons, and now basically 12 points already in the first 11 minutes here because the kick probably goes in from Cleary. So, and he got the try assist. So that is, across the 3 games, ignoring this game now, there is 92, that is 112 points in 3 games. So they are giving up 112 points. Is that 35? 30, 60, 90, 95. It's over 35. 36? 30, 60, 90, 96, 102, 108. It's over 36. Is that 37 then? 97, 104. It's over 37. They're giving up over 37 points per game this season on average. Like, that's crazy. Whilst the Panthers, they're scoring at a ridiculous rate as well. In their first 3 games, 26, 26, and 40. So that's 60, 80, 92 points. That's, close enough to 31. It's between 30 and 31 points per game. So this Eels team is just defensively not really up to scratch to win this game. If they win this game, it would be a miracle. It would be an amazing upset. It would be more so than the Warriors Tigers, and it would be more so than the Bulldogs and the Knights on the basis of what we have actually seen from the Eels so far this season and across the years, alongside what we've seen from the Panthers this season and across the years. 12-0 to the Panthers with 28 minutes to go the first half. Inasa says how to watch it. Seb Watson says get a job. I love it every time. It's so funny every time. Big Homie Dave says prayers up for my boy Daz, mate. Don't worry, bro. Zinger boxes have a unique way of easing the hurt. He still owes me a Zinger box. Daz, mate, does. He still owes me one. Sir Curry says Penrith Panthers heavy favourites. Parramatta Eels with live betting odds. Oh, we got a betting marketer here. We got the king of betting here with live betting odds as of March 28. Why are we being so political? Like we're being so. I don't even know what the word is. He's got with live betting odds as of March 28, 2026. Yes, today, in this game that we're watching right now, placing them at approximately minus 480 to win, while the Eels are at plus 350. The spread is around 14.5 to 15. Yes, Sir Curry. Yes. You know you don't have to be... Formal is the right word. Why are we being so formal here? What's the formalities that we're going with? Dylan Edwards will now beat the 40 on 4 tackle. Dragons says they'll be lucky as well. They're not 1-2 and 2 losses. Would have been to Dragons and Knights for a team that's potential premiers somehow. They're lucky not 1 and 2 as well. And 2 losses would have been to Dragons and Knights for a team that's potential... Hold on, where the Knights going to these? Panthers, Blaze Salungi, they've scored again. 16-0 with a kick to come. Oh, dude, this might get real ugly here. It's 16-0 with a kick to come. How do you stop them? How do you stop this team? 16-0 with a kick to come. They are glorious to watch, man. Highest quality footy we'll get to see other than Queensland. It is, 100%, Brighton. They've come out and they absolutely mean business. I agree with Michael Ennis there. This is a special team, Brighton. It's very early in the season, but right now, someone tell me in the chat and give me reasoning behind it. Don't just give me, I got a feeling in my waters, or I feel it in the vibe. Who is the team to take down the Panthers right now? Which team does it? Sir Curry says, Fremantle looking to jump back into the AFL versus Rich. What are we doing, Sir Curry? What are we doing? Jazz says, the thing is, yeah, we had 2 upsets this week, but this is the Panthers. Do not compare them to anyone else. As you alluded to, Blaze, they have played 3 legit sides and come away with the chocolates. Yep. Yeah, exactly right. And well, too. And very, very well, the Panthers. Panthers were only beaten by Walsh on a generational finals run. It's going to take another run like that from someone to stop them. Whoever won that Panthers versus Broncos game was going to win that comp last year for mine. And obviously the Panthers were 5 minutes away from effectively winning their 5th straight premiership in a row. In my opinion. But Broncos, obviously, Dean Mariner scoring. But outside of that, whoever won that game for mine was winning the granny. Big Homie Dave says, Riff is so good, they can give away a set restart, but it'll be to your disadvantage. GG's NRL, even as a Broncos fan, I dare say we're all playing for second place this year. Again, very early in the year, injuries can happen, a lot of things can change, but right now they're the very clear premiership favourites. Duraz says, Tyler, and even then, Broncos had to steal it late. It took a crazy Walsh out of the back pass. My God, they're so good, the Panthers. Yeah, they were down 14-0 at half-time, the Broncos, and they had to do their typical comeback in the second half to win that game, 16-14, and it was in the last 5 minutes through Dean Mariner. And they had to kick a sideline conversion through Adam Reynolds. It took magic to beat them. And the magic happened. There goes the clock. Yep, the Panthers are currently beating the clock right now. It is 18-0 in the first 14 and a half minutes of this game. Draz says, bro, I'm so glad I took my heart out of wanting to see an Eels upset and went back to Panthers last minute. Obviously, it's still early in the game, but yeah, it doesn't look like a Parramatta Eels upset's coming here. Yeah, it's an interesting fact there, Michael. 2 out of 3 former Para players scored. So you've got... was Isaiah Yeo former Para? I know that Isaiah Papali'i was obviously former Para. No, Blaise Alungi. Isaiah Yeo, I think he's always been Penrith, hasn't he? But for some reason, I've got like a youth development system coming through for Yeo, but I think I'm wrong here. Obviously, Blaise Alungi and Isaiah Papali'i with the try scorers from Para. So third tackle here for the Panthers, and it's Lindsay Smith to the 35. Lindsay Smith. Roll it back out to Edwards, and Edwards brings it to the 45 now on fit tackle. Well, I'm pretty happy with Nathan Cleary already. He's on 92 points as captain in the first 15 minutes of this game, so that's looking very ominous. Leota's already at 20 points as well. But anyway, Dylan Edwards will knock this ball on. It's going to be Parramatta ball, so here's your chance. But if you're a Penrith fan, you like this because this means that you get to see your defense on action against an Eels team that actually... He has run back through the ruck there, to be fair. I think this is harsh on Dylan Edwards. He has run back through the ruck and has hit his arm for the knock-on. I would have considered challenging that because I feel like that could have been a penalty to the Panthers that's gone missed there. So Carrie says, I went to boarding school raised by nuns, so formal. Well, yeah, fair enough, bro, but just, yeah, it's all good, man. Just say, oh, this team's the favourites and whatnot. Otherwise, you'll get roasted here, but good to see you enjoying the stream. Sunday says, no one beats the Panthers at this rate, except for the Gold Coast Titans, mate. Don't be silly. Come on, Sunday, get with the times. Start using the old noggin. The Titans are going undefeated from tomorrow onwards. Don't be silly. Sunday, it makes me sick how silly you're being right now. Panthers beat the Titans? You wish. That'll never happen. Unbelievable stuff. So the Eels now, they're going to be 15 metres away from the line on 4 tackle. GTR says, was at home with a 30-man team. With a 30-man team? What are you saying? Junior Bolo, he'll be 9 metres out from the line, 5 metres out from the line, fit tackle. All right, Eels, what can you do here on 5th, 5 metres away? Go out to the left. It's going to be Jonah Pezzett. Knock on by the Parramatta Eels. And Dylan Edwards brings it to the 10 on 0 tackle. Condor says, good thing Panthers aren't facing the mighty Tigers. Ah, well. Titans are the gross team. Kahoma says, no team Panthers undefeated all the way. Well, that's just not going to happen. There's going to be... Oh, and it's a penalty to the Panthers at the 20. Your biggest issue at Penrith is that Origin will come. You will lose Nathan Cleary. You will lose Brian To'o. You probably will lose Dylan Edwards. I don't know if they changed that, but you probably lose Dylan Edwards. You will lose Liam Martin. You will lose Isaiah Yeo. You know, so the point of the matter is that there will be a loss for the Panthers this year. You're not going undefeated. If you do that, then... It's the most insane thing I've ever seen in sport, and I watch a lot of sport across all different sports. I watch everything. That would be the most insane thing I've ever seen. Maybe besides Leicester winning the Premier League in 2016. Liam Martin, great run, second tackle at the 40. It's just so dominant. Oh, that's going to be a knock-on. That's a knock-on from Liam Martin. Yeah, that's a ball plant. Correct call. That's a knock-on there from Liam Martin. I love how Isaiah Yongi's rubbing it into him as if he's not down 18-0 right now, man. But knock-on from the Panthers, and the Eels will get the ball at the 40. The Origin will be your biggest detractor. That doesn't mean I'm going to take anything away from how good they are, though. Now, bro, Dolphins will finish first or second. Yeah, first. Don't start this again, big homie Dave, please. I don't think I could mentally cope with it while I'm sick right now. I don't think I could mentally cope with it while I'm sick right now hearing this dribble about Dolphins first or second again. Lewin Moodley says, absolutely the best unit in the NRL 2026. So far, absolutely. And they look the goods. Taj wants the only way they will lose this season is through Origin period. Exactly right, Taj. But, you know, we have seen some surprises. Maybe they just won't click on for a game. They do play the Storm in a couple of weeks. They do play the Dogs in a couple of weeks. I know the Dogs didn't look great the last game, but last year there was an unbelievable game between the two where the Panthers won 8 points to 6. It's just the Dogs' attack is not good. And their defense is usually good, but not in the last game. But with that being said, if the Dogs didn't have as good defense in the last game, most teams actually probably would have had a good 40 put past them in that last game for the Knights. They looked really dominant in that first half. Third tackle, and they are over the sideline. Yes, they are. That is unbelievable defense there. No way! They've said this is a penalty? They weren't entitled to throw him over here? Did he stop before he went out? Yongi... I don't know about that, referee. Because he's pushed his head down, but the tackle is There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a penalty. That should not be a penalty to Parramatta at all. Storm do usually have a good record against Penrith throughout the season. That is true, Marcel. That is true. And, like, again, the Panthers will lose at some stage this season. It just don't look likely now. So 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. The Eels are 20 metres out. Second tackle, Dylan Walker. I'm so glad of Captain Nathan Cleary in this game on Supercoach Draft, that's for sure. Mitchell Moses, quick pass to Kitione Kautonga. That was scary, though. Could have easily been a knock-on. First tackle with a 6 again. Now 13 metres away. Riley Smith off to Mitchell Moses. If they aren't set on the line, watch for the 6 agains because they'll deliberately do it. Second tackle, Riley Smith, who goes off to Moses. Moses at the back now to Pezzett. Pezzett, quick passing. Oh, Jenkins with a try saver. Wow, third tackle, Jenkins with a brilliant try saver there. They give it out the back, and it will be Jonah Pezzett with the ball. Then off to Dylan Walker. Walker to Mitchell Moses. He kicks that ball through. Great kick, great kick, great kick, great kick, great try. Parramatta, Mitchell Moses with a fantastic kick here. Oh, no, maybe not. Bunker's coming in. Bunker coming in. Is Brisbane finding out winning habit again? Go Lions. Justin, do you realise this is a different sport, mate? So what are they saying here? He's onside. What are they saying? Well, he's he's onside by about 5 metres. What are we looking at here? Oh no, he's clearly. Oh, does he lose the ball? Oh, he's lost the ball. Oh, Addo-Carr's lost the ball. That's unbelievable defence from Brian To'o. Oh, and this is what happens, man. You know, a brilliant kick from Mitchell Moses for Addo-Carr, and you would have thought every day of the week that Addo-Carr's scoring that. But Brian To'o comes from the clouds and prevents Addo-Carr from scoring. That is unbelievable stuff there from Brian To'o. Jonathan says, Brisbane, I said that to say where I am supporting you from. Do you know Brisbane is your club, bro? Like, what? Okay, I don't know what you're saying right now, Justin. You said Brisbane. I said that to say where I am supporting you from. Oh, so it's actually Eels ball here. I don't know how the Eels got the ball back, but first tackle the 8. What? You said, is Brisbane finding that winning habit again? Go Lions. That doesn't say that where you're supporting from, but I appreciate you for supporting from Brisbane, the channel. But also, what do you mean, do you know Brisbane is your club? Brisbane is absolutely not my club. I'm from the Gold Coast. The Eels out to Josh Addo-Carr. Good scramble there from Panthers. Eels throwing a bit at him right now. How did the Eels get the ball back, by the way? Can someone let me know? Third tackle here at the 10. I'm confused by those couple of comments there from Justin. The Eels are at the 26 again here for Parramatta. They go quickly out of the right. Here's a chance, but Jonah Pezzett locked down by Jenkins and Case McLean. Yeah, penalty, Michael, but what was the penalty for? Was it Brian To'o offside, or was somebody offside before the kick was made? Oh, because offside, okay. Eels out to Jonah Pezzett. They are floating it left to right, right to left right now. They go out to Josh Addo-Carr. Brian To'o cannot stop him this time. Addo-Carr will score in the corner. 18-4 with the kick to come. They break through this time. And we're going to see Brighton in 5 minutes' time. See you later. 18 minutes to go here in the first half. The Parramatta Eels will score. Some good intensity there from Parramatta. And I don't believe they should have had the ball down here, because I don't agree with the fact that when the Eels got taken over the sideline that it was a penalty. With that being said, this was good work here from the Eels, and I'm surprised they didn't score on the previous play with a brilliant kick from Mitchell Moses out of Addo-Carr, but he dropped it. Then they got a penalty. I didn't see it, but apparently it was offside. And then they've just gone straight away quickly. Brian Kelly passes it to Addo-Carr, and he beats out Brian To'o with a missed tackle. Seb says, how's that not advantage from the 6 again? What do you mean? How's what not advantage from the 6 again? Mina's try. It was a good try there from Parramatta. Well, big kick from the sideline to bring it back within 12. I think it was for Martin showing his head, but I don't know either. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you think the Panthers' second half performance is better this year compared to last year's? Yes, against the Sharks, they weren't good in the first half, really. And in the second half, they blew them apart. In the game, in the first round against the Broncos, I think their first half was the dominant one. Oh, they were both kind of equal, but the Panthers did score more tries in the first half. 1 second, Moses here from the sideline. Big kick from Moses to bring it back within 12, and he will missed the kick. It will stay 18 points to 4. So still 3 scores down. But yeah, against the Broncos, they scored 3 tries in the first half, 1 try in the second half. In the Sharks game, their first half was still better. They did score those 2 tries right before halftime, and Jenkins and Cleary in the 34th and the 38th minute. And then Jenkins scored in the 43rd minute. We didn't see a try after that. But then against the Roosters, their first half was just ridiculous. They still scored 3 tries in the second half, but they scored those 4 tries in the first half, and it was 24 points to 4, and that was the only points that the Roosters scored. It was just dangerous. So ultimately, you're probably still saying that the Panthers are a better first half team than the second half team, but they're so dominant in the first half that the second half isn't really mattering right now. And their second half isn't like last year, where they're giving up a ridiculous amount of points. Then they didn't give up any points to Sharks, I think, in the second half? Or did they score 1 try in the second half? No, I can't remember if it was the first or second half try. I'm going to quickly go and look at that. Good offload there from Parramatta. And they're going to bring this ball to the 25. Momentum's kind of swinging in Parramatta's favour, though, to be fair. Let's go back to round 2 here quickly. When did the Sharks score their try? Oh, no. Knock on from Parramatta just as they're getting momentum. Knock on from Parramatta's Kelma Tuolangi. And it will be Panthers' ball on the attack again. They scored in the second half, so their 1 try came in the second half. They're the Sharks. But overall, like last year, they were giving up ridiculous tries in second halves. Whilst this year, they gave up that 1 try in the Sharks second half, no tries to the Broncos across the whole game, and the 1 try in the first half to the Roosters. So their second halves are not being defensively vulnerable like it has been in the past. First miss, but Goody try up the tries. All right, so Panthers, they are on the attack again. Thomas Jenkins, he is at the 30. First tackle. They need to get back into the ascendancy because the Eels have taken a bit of the momentum. But here's the 6 again coming up for Penrith, and Moses Leota. He is 25 metres away here from the line. They go out to the left, and Lindsay Smith was eye Papali'i, and Papali'i is 15 metres away from the line on second tackle. They go out to the right to Isaiah Yeo, and Isaiah Yeo will be 5 metres away from the line on third tackle. It's Mitch Kenny to Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary gets it across the place to Lung. No, Case McLean, 6 again here for the Panthers at the 5. We're going to have to time you out there, man. We're going to have to time you out for saying try time when there hasn't been a try in these last few moments. Nathan Cleary gets it quickly to Leota, to Dylan Edwards. Edwards brings this ball to the 9, and it's going to be second tackle now. Second tackle. 8 metres away. They give it to Nathan Cleary. He kicks that ball through. He hits the post, and that's another brilliant kick. He does it deliberately, man. Because it looked like it had too much on it, but it's because he was aiming for the post and then hits the post, and it comes off to Lindsay Smith. And it's just pinpoint perfection from the Panthers, man. Nathan Cleary with another try assist, and Lindsay Smith with the try. He's looking the goods for the super coach right now. Nathan Cleary, he is already at 51 points, and that's without that try assist, and there's still 55 minutes to go here in this game. Well, he wasn't wrong. But see, the thing is, Sundo, is that we time people out for saying try time too early, because there are people here who are using me as a commentary for the game, so it ruins it for them if they look at the chat. Like, for example, Shauno, who can't watch the game, but he listens to me as the commentator to know when the try does come. So if someone says it in the chat and comments it, well, that's too early, and it ruins it for the people listening in. So that's why we do time them out. So please, just as moderators, please remember that in case people do say it too early. It's just so that everyone can listen in overall. Lagan says, it is what it is. Was coming sooner or later. Fair play to Newcastle. Back to the drawing board for Good Friday. Attack is just not it. Yep, maybe it's the loss. We need to come back as a powerhouse. Well, yeah, it was rough. It was definitely rough, but that attack is definitely not flowing. Definitely not flowing right now. Francis Lagan, man, what's those red words next to the dogs in the ladder? I can't quite read it. I'm surprised he hasn't complained about that immediately, but most Dogs fans actually agree with that. When I posted on my Instagram, they messaged me saying, put it bigger, put it larger. But Nathan Cleary converts it. It's 24-4 with 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Someone says, true, I interpret him saying that as in he wanted there to be a try. Yeah, but even so, that does confuse people in the chat and whatnot, so that's why if someone says try time kind of separately to any other part of the comment, then it alludes that there's going to be a try, so that's why. If someone says, I hope there's a try to come, fine. But if you're saying try time, then we're going to assume you're saying you're ruining the try happening, and then it ruins it for people in the chat. Silencer says, yeah, some of it's can't afford Sky Sport, plus here for the vibes. Get around your Silencer. Appreciate you for tuning in. Royal Grand Majesty says, if Eels manage to score one more try, they've done better than the Bronx, Sharks and Roosters. Yeah, correct, but also the Eels scored one try against the Melbourne Storm. They actually scored first against the Melbourne Storm. They were up 4-0, and then they lost 52-4. But you're right, you're technically right based off that. Also, we did see, I think the Roosters score first against the Panthers last week, didn't they? And then they lost that game 40-4. So the Panthers don't mind giving up a try, but they earn it right back, don't you worry. Please do a try. I want to time you out, Seb, just for testing the wagon wheel. Blaze along, and it was Isaiah Papali'i, and Isaiah Papali'i to the 35. Already 24 points given up by the Eels, though, in 27 minutes. Their defense is not defensing, and we all know a score that we're thinking of right now. Jenkins away, Jenkins away, Jenkins away. He's at the 30. They've got him on the inside. KC McLean to that time for the Panthers. Bang! 50 Bombers on. 50 Bombers on because they're about to hit 30 in the first 28 minutes of this game. They're about to hit 30. You reckon Thomas Jenkins will score? Well, Joel, right now, the Panthers are looking well on. Jenkins obviously scored 8 tries across the first 3 games, 4 against the Roosters, 2 against the Sharks, and 2 against the Broncos. He was the one with the breakaway just then, but he gets the ball back on the inside for Case McLean. He scores. It is looking scary here from Penrith right now, and Parramatta's defense cannot cope with this as we speak. And Jenkins passes it back into Talangi. Nice work there from Sean Russell to try and get a hold of him, but ultimately the defense broke down and the Panthers just look devastating at the moment. Elijah says full-time score is going to be 48-4. I think that's generous to Parramatta right now, man. It's about to be probably 30 points. Well, it is about to be 30 points to 4 with 52 minutes to go of this game. I think you're generous to not give the Panthers 50 at this point. I think it's generous. Johnny passes, so will Panthers concede anything in the double digits or nah? It's not looking like it right this very second. They are in ridiculous form at the moment, the Panthers. They are in ridiculous form, man. They've only given up 10 points. They've only given up 14 points through 3.5 games right now. Only 14 points in 3.5 games. They're averaging against them like 4.5 points a game. Compared to the Eels, who are averaging themselves across a game 37, 38 points so far this season, and they're already about to concede 30. Big Ummy Davis says, Penrith are so bored with the competition, they're trying to beat the friggin' clock now. They are currently beating the clock with this kick. They are, man. They are doing it. Nathan Cleary kicks it. It's 30 points to 4. And now it's 30 minutes gone. So 10 minutes to go here the first half, folks. Hit that like button and subscribe. Do not forget that right after this, we've got North Queensland Cowboys versus the Storm. And Storm, it's your turn to try and show and go in regards to this competition. The Bulldogs failed. The Warriors failed. Well, the Panthers didn't. And you're going to have to show that you're up there with them. 10 minutes to go. Thumbs up, subscribe. This game is already over. Pretty much, Nikhil, yeah. Get this Day 1 Paris supporter Muppet off my screen. Day 1 Paris supporter Muppet off my screen? Who's a Day 1 Paris supporter? Lagan says, the only thing building my day back up again is Para getting bent over. Love to see it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Liam Martin. Either way, even though this is still enjoyable to watch from the Panthers, I'm just happy that I captained Nathan Cleary, bro, because he is already on 77 points in Supercoach with 50 minutes to go of this game. 77 points. I just hate that the Panthers have scored 30 and Brian Tutt was only on 6. Thomas Jenkins, he flicks the ball back on the inside. Blaze Talangi with an offload. 4th tackle at the 45. Jim James says, time yourself out, mate. Mention the Fitty Bomb. No, but it's 30 points, mate. Tell you that, Jim Jam. You think I don't know, Jimmy? Huh? The 50-30's been hit. You can talk about it. Also, I can talk about it whenever I damn well please. You guys can't talk about it until the 50-30 gets hit. That's out on the full here, though, from the Panthers. That is out on the full, so the Eels are going to get this ball at the 44 on their own side of the field. Oh, 44. That's like saying you predicted that tomorrow's another day. Feel much better at predicting Penrith as minor prems. Why didn't you feel good about it in the first place? So Eels now, they will get the offload. It'll hit the ground, but luckily Brian Kelly will pick it up at the 45, first tackle. Not as many as you think predicted it. Sure, but I was extremely close to doing it. I went with a little bit of a haymaker and said that the Roosters came first, but obviously that's not looking great right this very second. But I think did I have Panthers first? Second or third? I think I went Panthers second, didn't I? Or did I go Storm? No, I went Storm lower, didn't I? I think I went Storm like fourth. I think I went Storm fourth. Who did I have second? I think I had the Panthers second. Fit tackle now for the Eels, and they're going to be 9 metres away. Was only 28. No, mate, it's 30 points to 4. Knock on from Parramatta. So, the Panthers will get the ball at the 10. Taj Morton says, Cleary just needs to be good in Origin to be the best to ever do it. Agree? Yeah, he does. He just needs to be more dominant in Origin. Sorry, he's actually 81 points already with this long to go. My goodness. My goodness. Well, I'd like a Brian Tuttle try, though, because he's got 6 points currently on Pacific Coast. They've been killing that left-hand side, rather. Paul Adamotti, he'll be second tackle now at the 20. Rolls it back to Mitch Kenny, then off to Brian Tuttle. And Tuttle brings it to the 25 on third tackle. Jim Jam, don't give Eels fans hope. They're annoying. Eels can still come back. All right, Jim Jam, I'll hold you to it, mate. Isaiah Yoda Blaze Salungi. Then he gets off to Isaiah Papali'i, who should have got the offload away. But he'll bring this ball out through a couple of post-contact meters to 35 on fourth tackle. Jim Jam, do you know what? How about this? You think the Eels can still come back? I'll give you a plus 12.5 start if they don't come back to a plus 12 to losing by less than. Oh, that's going to be probably a knock on here from Jenkins, or knock back from the Eels will be 25 metres out. How about this, Jim Jam? If the Eels don't get back within 12, you become a member. How about that? They're down by 26 points right now. Because you think they can come back from 26 points down? I'd nearly give you a 20-point head start as we're currently seeing this game. $5 to become member. You think the Eels can come back? Well, I'll give you an Eels plus 14.5. How about that? So currently it would be 30 points to 18.5 right now is what the score would be. So the Eels will be at the 40 and it'll be fit tackle. You could give me 30 points, it still would be rough. You just said the Eels can still come back in this game. And they'll go out the back now to Mitchell Moses. Moses off and to Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly to Adokar, and it's a knock on again. Knock on again. Ben says hello. Get around you, Ben. Big Hummy Dave says, also lagging. Your prediction is wrong. The Oracle was in chat last night and predicted the Dolphins would finish first or second, so best put that bet slip in the bid, good sir. That is correct. Hold on. That is correct, lagging. You are incorrect. We did have somebody who says it every single week. We did have somebody guaranteeing us the Dolphins would finish first or second. So you are incorrect about the Panthers winning the minor premiership. Yeah, let's go. Jim Jam, newest member of the channel. Newest member of the channel, get around him. So the Panthers, they'll be at the 45 on third tackle. No, at the 40. Good post-contact there, third tackle. To be fair, the Knights are starting to win. Anything is possible. Oh, lagging. I don't think an insult to the Knights right now is your best interest. Fourth tackle here at the 30. Mitch Kenny, they go to Nathan Cleary, and Cleary's going to run this ball to the 15. It's a good run. But they roll it back to Mitch Kenny. They go short side. No, they go back to Cleary. Cleary, he throws that ball on an offload to... Oh, intercept by the Eels. They're away. Blaze Salungi, that was absolutely awful. I think he might... No, he's not going to get there. That's going to be Casey McLean who gets him. That was They actually had an easy try, the Panthers, if he just lobs the ball over the top of him. But Sean Russell gets taken out to 28. Mitchell Moses, good scramble back defense here from the Panthers, though, to get back and to cover that short side, the far side on a breakaway. Second tackle at 13. You watch him give away a 6 again at some point here. That's Jonah Petzett off to Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly smashes into Martin, but he'll be taken down to the 15 now. And would you look at that? 6 again to the Eels. Panthers do it deliberately, man. Would you look at that? They give away deliberate 6 again to get their line set. Now they're saying good luck scoring past us when we set our line. Go out to the right-hand side to Mitchell Moses. Then off to Dylan Walker. And Walker is going to be 9 metres out from the line. Third tackle, 5 minutes to go here in the first half. They go out to the left to Mitchell Moses. Moses then hits the grass and picked up by Isaiah Yongi, but all that momentum is really sapping out of them right now. Fourth tackle at the 17. Para, can you... Oh, another knock on. Another knock on here from Parramatta. And Penrith will get the ball to 15. Elijah says, 2025 Panthers sad, 2026 Panthers dead. The Panthers were 5 minutes away from making a preliminary final, making a grand final last year, and I think they would have won the grand final if they played in it. So I don't know why they'd be too sad about 2025. Royal Grandmaster says, come on, Eels, be the first team this season to score 2 tries against them. Well, that wasn't the case just then. The Panthers got back well, gave away 6 again because they wanted to reset their line, and then the Parramatta Eels knocked the ball on again. Jonah Pez, as he tries to step back inside, just loses his lollies. The lollies are everywhere. The bag is open, no more lollies. So 10 from 15 completion rate for the Eels. It's a 67% completion rate for them. Yikes, 78% for the Panthers. Zaya Papali'i back to Mitch Kenny, then off to Scotty Sorensen. No, Liam Henry, who brings us out to the 33 on third tackle. Mitch Kenny to Nathan Cleary. He fakes a kick and then gives the offload away to Isaiah Yeo. Then he gives that offload to Dylan Edwards. And Edwards to the 40. That was a weird play from the Panthers. It was like Cleary was shaping to go for a 40-20 just then, but just picked it away late. So Isaiah Yeo to the halfway point. That'll be fit tackle now. So they give it to Nathan Cleary. And there's a player down here for the Eels. God bless him. I hope he's okay. Panthers chasing it through. Bang! Paul and Monty with a good takedown. Isaiah Yongi. Brighton Robinson with the gifted membership. Appreciate you, Brighton, for supporting the channel. And Jossie Pass, gifted membership. Get around you, Brighton. Nate says, Penrith fans know all about hard times. I feel for them. Yeah, really tough times, the old Panthers. Yeah, really, really tough. You know, they've been in some real dire straits, mate. Wow, woo. You know, as a Titans fan, I just can't help but feel sorry for him. But that is an injury here to, I think that's Sam Tuivasa, number 15. It is Sam Tuivasa. Yeah, that's right. Big Hubby Dave says, the way they're playing, you'd swear that Ivan had now that the dynasty is done, what's next with Penrith question from last year's prelim press conference playing on repeat during preseason. Anyone who said that the domination was done was silly. The streak was done. That was the correct words to use, but the era of the Panthers was never done after one season. Tyler says, power to come back. Mate, listen, I wish you the best of luck. Maya says, at this point, Panthers just want to play a good, intense game. I feel like they're getting bored of winning by 13 plus. You wait till they play the Titans, mate. Titans might win by 40. They might win by 50 in the first half. They will lose the game 52-50, but they'll be up 50 points at half time, and you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. Unlucky. Jim Chem had an even chance. Congrats, Aussie Pass. Ibrahim says, got to feel bad for Panthers fans. So hard to win 4 premiers in a row. Very difficult. Very difficult stuff, mate. But, you know, you've just got to sometimes put up with it. You know, you've got to put in your best effort, you know. Yeah, you just got to put in your best effort to get through such difficult and hard times in life. So, Sam Tuivasa will have to come out here for a HIA. Well, the only thing disappointing me right now is Brian To'o is still on. He's still only on 12 points now in Supercoach. Please, man. Please. Can you get a few more points, man? Please. Just a few more points, Brian To'o. At least get to 13, please. Penrith is one punch, man. Change my mind. Penrith is one punch, man? What does that mean? 4th tackle here for Parramatta. I can't change your mind if I don't know what you're talking about. And now they go across to Dylan Walker, then to try to Pezzett. Pezzett gets it all the way across to Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly will get the offload away out of car. And then he'll pass it out the back to Isaiah Yongi. Well, that's an obstruction if he doesn't go down. And he will go down at the 40. It was scary how he answered that question by saying, what's done? Well, yeah, no one should have ever thought that it was done. It was just people hoping. That's a torpedo, but Jenkins will grab it. And he will get away as well. And then taken down to the 20 on first tackle. Is there a team in the NRL history that's won a Prem whilst playing away the whole season, or will Penrith win that as well? Well, yeah, but it's not away though, is it? Like, yes, okay, CommBank is, but it's not, is it? That's an interesting question, but like I don't really care for the question, but like it is an interesting question just on a niche stat, I guess. 4th tackle now at the 40. Again, I always say this. Home ground advantage is a superbly overrated stat. It really is. 5th tackle now at the 45. At the end of the day, they're all still playing footy on the same field. I know that you've got the crowd in your corner, but I'm just saying it is an overrated stat. Oh, has he knocked that ball on? Yes, he has. Oh, they've said he caught it? No, it is Panthers' ball. The Panthers will get one last crack here before half-time. That is a knock-on here from Isaiah Yongi. And the Panthers have a chance to go one more before the half. Dry says, you can see the fire of the belly of Ivan and Nathan at press conference after 2025. Yeah, well, they were 5 minutes away from doing it again, man, because that would have been the greatest comeback story of rugby league history if they had have come back from where they were halfway through last season or a quarter way through last season to go and win the comp. It would have just been insane. They're going to have to repack this scrum. There's a minute 4 seconds to go here, Panthers. I know you don't need to, but yeah, quick stuffing around here. If there's a try straight after this scrum, I'm going to time you out for half an hour if you've done that deliberately for that reason. Nathan Cleary, left-hand side, will be taken down to the 25. If there's not a try, we'll just time you out for 5 minutes. But Dylan Edwards is going to go to the right-hand side, and they're going to be at the 20 now on second tackle. They go to the left-hand side of Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary steps inside. He'll be at the 10. He can't get the offload away. It's going to be third tackle. Third tackle. Mitch Kenny off to Dylan Edwards. Edwards off to Isaiah Yeo. Isaiah Yeo runs it himself, and he's going to be 10 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle now. Mitch Kenny. He'll go out to the left, and then they get it off to Nathan Cleary. Cleary again to Casey McLean. And good defence there from Parramatta. Fifth tackle now 5 metres away from the line. We don't find it funny, Myers. It just ruins it for other people. So Jenkins now to Zai Papali'i, then on to Nathan Cleary. Cleary puts that ball over the top in a weird kick, but Adokar will get it. So you're lucky. You're only going to get 5 minutes here. But Adokar's away here. Adokar's away here. And then he's taken down to the 22. And there we go. It is 30 points to 4 to the Panthers at halftime. It's just been so dominant here from Penrith, man. So dominant. They put on a show and Parramatta just could not keep up with them so far. There is still 40 minutes to go, but if you can come back from this one here, Parramatta, it will be one of the greatest comebacks of all time. Gee whiz. But let's get into the team stats here at halftime. Obviously, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here, and let's smash it out. So the Panthers, they're on 30. Eels are at 4 here at CommBank Stadium. The tries, Isaiah Yeo, Isaiah Papali'i, Blaze Talungi, Lindsay Smith, and Casey McLean, with 5 from 5 conversions for Nathan Cleary. And then for Parramatta, Josh Adokar with the try, and they missed the conversion. Then you go to the possession. A whopping 55% possession to the Panthers with 45% here for the Eels. Time of possession, this is lackluster, but this is because there is a lot of tries scored as well. 13 minutes and 20 seconds for the Panthers in time of possession. 10 minutes and 49 seconds for the Eels. Overall, now it's 11 minutes, sorry. So that would be 24 minutes and 8 seconds. It's under the 25-minute marker. That's disappointing. You want to see more rugby league overall, but either way, it's more so because there's been so many tries scored in this game as well, plus quite a few knock-ons there that have ended up being stoppages to pull it back. Completion rate is 80% here for the Panthers. That is literally the marker. 80% is the minimum that you're looking for. They're at 80 on 17 from 21. The Eels, paltry, 68%. That is well below the marker of 80%. If you're in the 70s, if you're above 75%, you'll take it, but it's not the marker of 80%. If you're below 75 to anywhere below 75, you're definitely just like, that's not good enough. So 68% is not good with 13 from 19 on the completion rate. And then you go to the attack, all runs, 86 runs here for the Panthers, 882 run meters. 10 meters on average per run, they're 22 meters above that. Spectacular stuff. The Eels, they're at 59 runs, 60 runs for 590 run meters. So they're only 10 meters on average. They're only 10 meters behind the 10 meters per run on average that you're looking for. 590 for 60 is actually pretty good. It's not as good as the Panthers, but I would be happy. It's now 61 for 603. I'd be happy to at least give you an inkling for what it would be similarly to, because they're only 7 meters behind the 10 meters on average per run. So now it's 62 for 621. So they are actually at the 10 meters per average per run. So that's pretty happy with that. So now if you want to equal out the runs with the 62 to the 86, that's 24 runs. That's 240 meters. 720, 820. That is 861. Is it? No, 24. Yeah, 861. So they would be 21 meters behind where the Panthers are. So actually, when you're looking at it from the run meters to the runs department, it's now 63 for 634. So they're still going above that 10 meters on average per run. When you look at it from the runs department, they're actually very close on the meters to what they would be. They're equaling out what the Panthers are doing, but they're just not getting the possession. They're making those knock-ons, and they're not getting as much ball to be able to get to that 900 meters that the Panthers have got. So when you look at that Eels runs to run meters, it's down by 270 meters right now, but if you give those extra runs and you equal it out with the 10 meters on average per run, then they would be pretty much at the same point the Panthers are, but the Panthers would still be in front of that. Now, post-contact meters is 292 here for the Panthers, 223 here for the Eels. With an extra 23 runs, It'd probably be quite similar. I think overall, run meters and post contact meters on an equalised level is very similar as we speak. But obviously, on the pure metric right now, because the Panthers have had those 24 extra runs, you are seeing that gap there. And then you go to the line breaks, 3-1 in favour of the Panthers. It's just been too easy for them. Tackle breaks, a lot of missed tackles in this game from both these teams. 24 for the Panthers and 20 for the Eels. That is a dramatic amount here overall. But it just shows how quality this Panthers team are, that they can miss all those tackles and still be leading 30 points to 4. And the Eels, that 20 makes sense, but they've got they've got 24 missed tackles. The Eels do, and the Panthers have 20 missed tackles. That's still above the average, and yet they've kept them to 4. The Eels, the 24 makes sense with a 30-point scoreline there. Average set distance. Now this is a massive gap here. 25 meters and under is diabolical. Turn the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is basically perfect. The Panthers are at 44.94. Which is basically at the fantastic level, but they're extremely high on the great level. They're getting a ridiculous amount of meters every single set. 44.94 is really quality stuff. And then the Eels, they're at 33.42, so they're in the underwhelming category. They are a full 11.5, close enough to 12 meters behind where the Panthers are at currently. That is a significant gap. So now the Panthers are up to 45.37. They are behind by 12 meters now. So the Panthers are into that fantastic category through the updates. The Eels are in the underwhelming of 33.42. 12 metres gap, that's significant. Then you go to the play the ball speed. 3.19 below is extremely fast. 3.2 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. 3.8 and above is extremely slow. The Panthers are at 3.22. They are 0.03 seconds away from going into an extremely fast category. They are playing this ball very speedy right now. 3.22 is fast, but they're close to that extremely fast category. The Eels also quite fast. 3.31 seconds. Not as fast as the Panthers, but it's really close of 0.09. So you're not really complaining about that at all. But again, the scoreboard's not reflecting the positivity there. Offloads wise, 4-3 to Parramatta. So this is what you normally see from Parramatta. They are an offloading team. But that's actually not as high as you would normally see from them. Panthers are actually locking the ball up quite well, considering the Eels love an offload. Then you go to the kick defusal, 67% for the Panthers, 44% for the Eels. We have not seen a forced dropout just yet in this game, I don't believe. I think we did, didn't we? Didn't the Eels have a forced dropout towards them? No, maybe not. Maybe not. I swear there was a forced dropout in this game, but they don't have it here on the stats. Anyway, that is what it is. All right, now we get to the defensive marker. This is interesting, isn't it? This is very, very interesting. So this is an individual stat, not a team collective stat. You'll be surprised by the number I'm about to tell you, because this is about missed tackles, ineffective tackles, and individuals and what they're doing. Not the collective team, because we've seen the Panthers collectively are really good in the scramble. But wow, they're missing a lot of tackles here. So 85% and below is disgusting. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker. And 90% and above is basically perfect. The Panthers are at 80.49% right now. 80.49%, that is really poor. That is 7.5% behind the marker of 88. This shows you the quality of this Panthers team, that even though they've done so poorly here, they're still up 30 to 4. But 80.49% is diabolical. They've only had to make 132 tackles, which is over 50 less tackles than what the Eels have had to do. But they've made 21 missed tackles. The average is 15 to 17. They've gone up above that by 4. And the ineffective tackles is averaged 5 to 7. They're 4 above that. So that's 32 bad tackles in that first half. That's really poor. And especially when you're only making 132 tackles made in general. So 80.49% is wild. But again, that's an individual metric, not a team collective. And then the Parramatta Eels, they're in the underwhelming category, 87.44. So they're 0.56% behind the marker of 88. But they're actually not doing too badly here, in regards to ineffective tackles anyway. 188 tackles made, 24 missed tackles, and 3 ineffective. So the 188 tackles made is actually not as much as you would have been thinking they would have had to have made in this game. But 24 missed tackles is crazy. That is 7 above the average of 15 to 17 with 24. And the ineffective tackles is only 3. So they're 2 below the average of 5 to 7. 2 below the lowest of the averages there. So compared to the 32 bad tackles of the Panthers, you got the 27 bad tackles of the Eels. They've had to make a lot more tackles than what the Panthers have, 56 to be precise. 56 more tackles. No, sorry. 142, 52, 62, 72, 82. No, it is 56. I'm correct there. So 56 less tackles made for the Panthers. Only 3 less missed tackles, but 8 more ineffective tackles than the Eels. So this shows that individually, the Panthers are giving away a lot for the collective gain. Like, that is what's happening right now. That's a pretty interesting stat to read, considering they're up 30-4. And then negative play. 3 and below is really good. 4 to 6 is average. 7 and above is really bad. The Panthers are at 4. They're at the bang smack of the average. Well, not bang smack middle. They're on the lower of the averages there. It's not amazing, but it's also not awful. The Eels are at 7. So they're into the bad category. They're making a lot of knock-ons. It's very noticeable in this game. They are knocking the ball on quite a lot, especially on the attack. In the attack in 20/30. Penalties conceded is 2-2. Very even there. Ruck infringements 3-1 against the Panthers, but they are happy to give away those 6 agains to reset their line. And then the inside 10 metres is 1-1. So overall, in this game, it is very dominant for the Panthers, but the defensive effective tackle percentage is well in advantage of the Eels. It's just the Panthers are too good in regards to giving away something to gain elsewhere. The run meters is actually similar if you give both teams an equal amount of ball, but obviously they're not getting an equal amount of ball right now because of those knock-ons from the Eels and because the Panthers have been so dominant. The average set distance is now 47.17 for the Panthers and 34.48 for the Eels, so that is 13 metres more an advantage. This Panthers team is just so good. The Eels, they've been giving up over 37-38 points per game this season. 52 to the Storm. They gave up 32 to the Broncos, and they gave up 20 to the Dragons last week, and they've already given up 30 in the first half here. They may be an attacking team this year. This isn't a good game to look at that, but they may be a good attacking team this year, scoring 40 against the Broncos and scoring 32 or 30 against the Dragons. But they're not a defensive team. It's just as simple as that. And this Panthers team, they have clicked on the attack. Their defense has always been as strong as it has been. They've still only given up 14 points across 3.5 games now. So if we say the Eels don't score in the second half, they would have only given up 4 points through 4 games. That is 3, 6, 9, 12. That is like 3.5 points per game that they're giving up. They're giving up less than a try per game overall, which is ridiculous. That is absolutely outstanding stuff. That is outstanding stuff overall from the outstanding stuff overall from the Penrith Panthers. So look, I think they're going to win this game. I do think they probably hit 50 points here. I think they hit the 50 bomb, and this is going to be super tough to see the Eels come in and put in a strong effort in the second half when it is as dominant as it is already. But we'll see. Tyler says Eels will win this game 31-30. He's drunk. Hobbit says Eels must do better. Must? Yeah, well, of course. Of course. Someone's been timed out. Big Hummy Dave says, for someone with sharp observation skills, you're still somehow missing the ability to read the room. There's a reason no one is answering a question. Oh no, what's he saying? Oh, Jay Hayes links. They bite him again. They bite again. The Jay Hayes links cops another one. Cops another successful rage fade. Oh no, and Zuma's going up at him too. Oh no. He triggers easily. Finally finished my steak. Okay, thanks for telling us. Tyler says, what is the most points scored one team in a single game? I think it was like the Dogs back in the 60s or something. They scored 80 or something like that. What is the highest score we have ever seen from a rugby league team? I should say NRL, because I know there was a game the other year where there was a Super League team that got 100. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, last year, highest score ever recorded by a professional rugby league match is 144-0, achieved by the York City Knights against the West Wales Raiders in 2018. I remember that one. I'm also talking about the NRL, though. Oh, no, sorry, it was the Dragons beating the Bulldogs back in 1935, 91-6. Now, the interesting part about this, they're not going to be beating that score. But the interesting part about that 91-6 scoreline is that back then, tries were only worth 3 points. They weren't worth 4 points back then. So the Dragons beat the Bulldogs 91-6 on May 11, 1935, scoring 19 tries in the match. That was with 3 points per try compared to the 4 points that we see now. Under modern scoring rules, 4-point tries, the scoreline would have been 110-6. Under the modern scoring, that would have been 110-6 to the Dragons over the Bulldogs. But back then, with the only 3 points. Now, the highest scored International Rugby League was 110-4. Australia beat Russia in the 2000 Rugby League World Cup 110-4. And also 120-0. France defeated Serbia and Montenegro in 2003 in the Mediterranean Cup. The highest scoring match in total ever was actually the Knights versus the Raiders in 2006. 70 points to 32 to the Knights. 70 points to 32. Wowee. Wowee. So, yeah, there's some stats for you in regards to that. Alrighty. So, the Eels are back out in the field. Panthers are about to be back out too. Don't forget, we've got the Cowboys versus the Storm right after this. Thumbs up, subscribe. We've also got Dragons versus Titans tomorrow and the Raiders versus Shaggies. Yeah, no 6 tackles as well, Sean. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Wow, the try predictor has the Panthers at 68%. I'm surprised that it's as low as it is currently. I won't be surprised if Brian Kelly did a big hit on someone. Well, it'll be nice to see. I want to quickly look at my Supercoach team. Nathan Cleary is currently on 80 points at halftime. 80 points at halftime of this game. If they keep on with this dominance, he'd be on for just a mental one. Leota on 30 and Brian To'o on 14. So I would like to see Brian To'o get a try. That would be nice for my old Supercoach draft team. That would be nice. That would be very, very nice. But still 40 minutes to go here. Let's see how it pans out. How far the Dragons have fallen. They've gone from pumping teams by almost 100 points to not being able to find an overlap. This was in 1935, to be fair. Not being able to find an overlap playing against 12. Must be frustrating being a Saints supporter, goodness me. Yeah, for sure. But again, we're comparing to a game in 1935. Like, that was literally 90 years ago. 91, no. Is that 89 years ago? Whatever. Same thing, 91, 81, 85, 7,463. I don't care. Point matter is, it was a long time ago. All right, Panthers now. They bring this ball. Liam Martin to the 15 on second tackle. I think Broncos are nice to get like 79. I can't remember. The recent score, the recent highest score that I can remember is the 72-0 to the Cowboys of the Tigers like 2-3 years ago. That's probably the most recent big score that I can remember. The biggest score that I can remember anyway. Fourth tackle now of the Panthers at the 35, and they'll get a penalty. That's the way to start the second half here, Eels. That is exactly the worst thing you could have possibly done. The worst thing that you could have possibly done here, champion. Maybe the worst thing you could have done. Also, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, obviously the pinned comment over here, you've got the Instagram, so go check out and follow, because after the Titans game tomorrow, if we lose, they're going to get a nice little response like we did last week. Yes. So this is an injury right now for the Eels. God bless him. Is this Kelma Tuolangi? It is. It's Kelma Tuolangi, who's been one of their best players of the season. So far today, though, he's only had 31 metres for 20 tackles. So the 20 tackles is good, but 31 metres is a bit how you're going. But this is against the Panthers, so you do come to expect that. So what's actually happened here? So as he's coming down, and I don't actually know what's happened here. Not sure. Scout says fraud alert. Mate, the fraud alert is fraud alerting right now. Jim Sham says, is Chris Sandow playing tonight? Yeah, Brett Kenny's alongside him. Yeah, Chris Sandow and Brett Kenny. Not having a great game, though. Not having a fantastic game, the old Chris Sandow and Brett Kenny. They've got a long way to go in this game. But they're not looking too fantastic right now. Hopefully, Sammy Radradra puts in some as well. So the Panthers will be at the 40 on first tackle, and Isaiah Papali'i brings it to the 50. One tackle gone. They're going to really need to turn it up. Peter Sterling hasn't even come on the field just yet. He's still on the bench. Second tackle here at the 45. Toowoomba Born. Peter Sterling, that is. Toowoomba Born, Peter Sterling. Mitch Kenny out to Isaiah Yeo, and then Scotty Sorensen. He'll take it to the 38. They go out to Isaiah Yeo, off to Nathan Cleary. Cleary underneath to Isaiah Papali'i, and Papali'i's going to be at the 30 on fourth tackle. Come on, one try for Brian To'o. I'm begging for my super coach. That's a strong run here from Liam Henry. He'll be at the 20 on fifth tackle. Mitch Kenny is going to go left-hand side of Blaise Halangi. He kicks that ball underneath, little dinker, but that's going to be way too hard. I've got to be honest with you, Blaise Halangi has been a bit of a detriment to this Panthers team so far this year. I expected him to be a lot better. He hasn't been outstanding. I do think the Panthers overall have been so good, but Blaise Halangi has left a lot to be desired so far this season overall. It's crazy to think that their 5'8" hasn't been exceptional, and yet they are going to be 4-0, and they are going to win this game really well as well. But I just feel like it really is Cleary or bust right now in those halves. And I did expect Blaise Halangi to have a really good year. Oh no, Isaiah Yongi is grabbing at his knee. God bless him. No, please don't be a serious injury. No, he's grabbing at his knee and he's in pain. You hate to see this. You hate to see this from Isaiah Yongi as he's come down here. It's an awkward tackle. It's a fine tackle from Mitch Kenny, but I don't think that's a hip drop, Brighton. I don't think so. Oh, they may be calling that. I don't agree, though. I agree with McEnnis. I don't understand. Oh, maybe he's grabbing his ankle here. That might be a lot better. I don't think this should be a penalty. I don't think this should be a hip drop. Give me 1 second here, guys. I want to watch this first. I guess you could argue that, but I don't agree. But I guess you could argue it. Give me 1 second here. All right, we're back. Is Panthers 6 the least pressure spine position in the NRL? Possibly rated 7 a close second. And this is going to be maybe a bin. They might actually bin him for a hip drop here. They're bringing him out. Wow, I think this is harsh. You've got a grip. Land the back of the legs. They're going to bin him. Yep. Mitch Kenny's in the bin here. I think it's harsh, but it is what they call. Off to the bin for the next 10 minutes. Well, Parramatta, here's your chance. Raiders 7's a bit of a weird one. I think that there's definitely pressure on the Raiders 7 right now, but Panthers 6, yeah, for sure, because they're so good anyway. But there is an ankle injury here to Isaiah Yongi. I don't know whether he's going to keep on here. They are still taping him up overall. Nintendo says if Cleary doesn't get injured or suspended, who can beat the Panthers right now? Storm can still. They still can, but we'll have to wait and see that one next week. Panthers play the Storm literally next week. I think the origin period right now is looking the most dangerous of the Panthers. Outside of that, it's looking pretty good for them. The Eels now bring this ball to the 15 on first tackle. OTF for real says, fucking losers. I'm guessing you're a Parramatta fan here, sir. Second tackle now at the 9. And they're going to roll this ball out the bat. Talon to Silva. Gets it across to Mitchell Moses. And now they go across to the right. Maybe change it to sub-only mode. Mate, it's been sub-only mode on this channel for like 4 years. What are you talking about? Third tackle here for the Eels. Oh, wait. You're getting upset about something else. I don't even know what you're talking about. Change it to sub-only. Mate, we've literally had this channel as sub-only for like dead set 4 years. So fourth tackle for Parramatta at the 10, and Mitchell Moses will knock the ball on. So the Panthers get the ball here at the 10. There we go. I don't know, why is OTF having a crack? I don't even understand what's happening in the chat. I can see it's been timed out, but like I don't even understand why the guy's having a meltdown. What's happening? Who is this? Why is he so upset? He can chill for 5. I don't even know why he's so upset. Skeletor says, yeah, comp is shaping up while we are hoping the Panthers do a storm and look in top shape all year but fold in the finals. I don't think they're going to fold in the finals, man. They're very experienced. And they're still well and truly young enough as well. Does it snow in Thailand? Maybe shorter. I don't think so. It's incredibly hot right now. It's definitely not snowing here. Maybe up in the northeast, shorter? Does it ever snow there in Thailand? JH strikes again. The Rage Baiter is undefeated. What happened? Oh, that's a knock on there from the Panthers. And the Eels will get this ball here at the 15. That's a bad knock on there from Penrith. Liam Martin's trying to claim this as a strip, and they're going to challenge this. They're going to challenge it. Bold call, though. Bold call to challenge this. We'll see. Well, yeah, I know there's no snow over usually, but like I wouldn't have been surprised if like far north, like in the winter, in the Isan area, I don't know. I don't know. I just thought maybe. So Brian Kelly in the collision, he has stripped it. But there's only one in the tackle. Liam Martin will win this. So he goes hand around the back and then pulls down on the ball here. No, referee, no. No, bunker. You cannot tell me that Brian Kelly is just making a tackle. It's the incorrect call there. You cannot tell me Brian Kelly is just making a tackle as his hand comes down over the top of the ball and he's pulling down to the ball. How on earth can you tell me? And yeah, no, obviously you're the same person. I'll be honest with you. We will just continue to hide you if you're just going to keep crying in the chat, man. Like I don't even know why you're having a crack in the chat, but you can get upset all you like, man. But we'll just quickly hide you every single time. So again, it's sweet, man. You can create as many fake accounts as you want, but we don't really care for the dribble that's happening right now in the chat. So Panthers now on the back foot. The Eels are at the 10. Time for you to grow up, I think, my friend. Time for you to grow up. But I'm sure I'm going to get an insult in the next fake account that you come up with. So first tackle now for the Eels. They're going to be 5 metres away here from the line. Yes, Mitch Kenny is in the bin, Jeffica. He is in the bin. First tackle at the 5. They give it out the back into Jonah Pezzett. Pezzett now to Dylan Walker. Walker to Mitchell Moses. Then off to Josh Papali. And they'll be 10 metres away from the line on second tackle. 5 minutes into the second half. Let's see if the Eels can break through them. They are down a man right now, the Panthers. Third tackle here, 5 metres away from the line. Roll back to Talon Silva, then off to Mitchell Moses. Moses at the back, quick rush up here from Alamotti. Chance here, but Edwards gets it, but it is a dropout. Good tackle there from Kitiona Kautonga, but a great kick there from Mitchell Moses. Joel says, bro, I'm just waiting for Matt Jenkins to score for my multi to hit. Well, I don't think it's going to happen while they've got this man in the bin, but there's still plenty of time in this game for Jenkins to get a try. Sneeze and you'll pop out. What? What, Sean? To be fair, my kind of snow makes everybody smile in the matter of the season. Yeah, you need help, big homie Dave. So Edwards is... I think Edwards is a bit worse aware at the moment. But Nathan Cleary loves a short kick here. Kitiana Katonga is a bit worse aware as well. God bless him. People are going down every left, right, and centre right now. Also, is Isaiah Yongi still on the field after that the issue that he had? Real Good Majesty says, at this point, they should keep the Panthers one man down for the rest of the game to make it more interesting. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that is the cheat code. But Cleary with a short kick. It's a good kick. And there was a Panthers player who randomly fell over there. I'm surprised they didn't call that for a push, but it's going to be fine. So the Eels are 10 metres away from the line. Oh, he's still going. I thought you didn't care, Rocco. I thought you didn't care, mate. But you're still making fake accounts. Eels now. They are going to be so close to the line. Half a metre short. Oh, no, he really is rattled. Oh, no, he really is rattled too. Jay, you just have this way of really pulling out the Muppets, don't you? You just know how to rage pay them, dude. Like, really? This guy's now created like 5 fake accounts just so that he can come in and cry in the chat. Out of let their side, Parramatta, Josh Papali taking up the 5. Good defense there from the Panthers. Nathan Cleary and Paul Adamotti. Fancy naming your daughter Rocco. It's not his actual name. He's created like 5 fake accounts now, man. 6 incoming soon from a guy who says he doesn't care. 4th tackle here at the 5. I don't even know what his original issue is with Jay. I don't even know what actually originally happened. There's a try for Parramatta. That's a try, and it will be Bailey Simonson who scores in the corner. First team to score 2 tries against the Panthers this year. It's only taken a man in the bin for the Panthers to get that done. Joel, we're live for every single game. Unfortunately, Joel, you are going to be timed out for 5 minutes because there is only one S in Storm. That is a rule on the channel, but we'll see you in 5, and the people learn the hard way here. But yeah, we're live for every single game, mate. Every single one. I have not missed a single game rugby league so far this season, inclusive of the pre-season. Brighton, so that is a try for Parramatta, and it's a 30 points to 8 game with a kick to come. Panthers still down a man. Skeletor says, yep, set it being subbed for a period of time at least, make him wait. Oh, I could do that, but nah, he's not worth the dribble. Not worth the dribble. This guy's pumping fake counts out at record speed. No, we've had way worse than him over the years, man. A guy from Wales that we always mention, he created hundreds of fake accounts across weeks and weeks. Weeks and weeks. Weeks and weeks, that man. And would send voice messages to Jay Hayes. Funny that. What a random coincidence. All right. So on that handicap they gave him, it would currently be 30 points to 22.5. And they will miss the kick. So it would stay 30 points to 22.5 for you, Jim Jam. 30 to 22.5 for you, but the actual score is 30 to 8. Harris says, am I feeling a power comeback in my waters? Don't do this waters stuff. Don't do it. Please, not the waters again. Let's avoid the Atlantic Ocean, please. I'm begging. I'm begging to avoid the Atlantic Ocean. There is no Parramatta comeback from 30 points to 4 down happening in this second half. It's not happening. But the Eels will get that try. 32 minutes left here in the game. Don't do it, Arter, please. I'm begging. Arib Tube Gaming says, who scored for Para? It was Bailey Simonson just then, and the earlier try was Josh Adokar. So Brian Kelly grabs that, and they're going to run this ball out now to the 15. Oh, bro's still going. Still going fake counts, someone doesn't care. The Eels will be at the 20 on second tackle. Second tackle now, 15 minutes out. Do something about it. Yeah, we'll hide you every time. But you care because you're always back, aren't you, baby? See you on your next fake out there, sunshine. We love you. The Eels now at the 25. You got me rattled, mate. I don't know how I'm going to cope. Fourth tackle here at the 33. You think Kenny might get suspended? I thought it was quite harsh. Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think Kenny gets suspended. How long left for the bin? Matt Dury is complaining about something here. I think he's trying to complain that there's maybe a high tackle. And... whoa! I think that would be harsh, but technically that is contact to the head. Yeah, there's no rhythm here for the Panthers in the second half at the moment. They are struggling to get on top of this game, this second half, but that's with that man in the bin. I think this should be, yeah, they're going to be calling it a penalty because it is high contact. Nothing more, though. All right, well, here they come again, Para. Scotty Sorensen will go on report. I don't even know how long there is in the bin. Maybe like another 5 minutes or so. Moses owners on fantasy and shit. What's Mitchell Moses on? Matt Dury will come off of the HIA. Going to church from tomorrow. Go to church anyway, Hobbit. God bless. So 30 minutes to go here of the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And if you want to create another fake account, please go ahead and do so as well. So the first tackle now at the 35. The Eels, Mitchell Moses, Dylan Walker, short ball to Kitona Kaltonga. And he's going to be at the 25 on second tackle. Here's your chance here, Parramatta. Here's your chance. Moses at the back to Jonah Pezzi. Gets rocked by Casey McLean. Rocked by Casey. Jeffika says, thanks so much for the live watching all the way from Fiji. Tosoviti, Bulavanaka, Vadlava. Out to the left-hand side, out to Mitchell Moses, George Papali'i, Brian Kelly, here with the 15. My daughter is returning, so I know all about Fiji. Love the old Fiji. The Eels at the 10, they give it to Mitchell Moses, and Moses steps, oh, another knock-on from the Eels, just as they're getting some momentum. But no, we're live for every single game, Jeffika. But that is a knock-on from Parramatta again. And the Panthers will get the ball to 10. Joshua Adventures says, anyone know when Pateo is coming back for Penrith? Interchange, need another big body? Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not too sure when Luron Pateo comes back. Moses on 3 points in Supercoach is insane. Again, I've got Nathan Cleary captain. He was on 82 at half-time. He's now still on... no, he was on 81 at half-time. He's now on 82 here. 82. So I still want a couple of tries with Cleary involvements. Would be nice, just to really pump it home. Real international stream this one is. Mate, if you look at my analytics, we have people all over the world watching these games. All over. Like, there are random countries. Truly, random countries that you will see in my analytics watching this, and it's so good to see. So it's going to be first tackle after a 6 again for the Panthers. They're at the 30. Mitch Kenny is about to come back out in the field here. He's about to come back out from that sin bin, and Paula Alamotti brings it to the 40. A minute 22 to go of that sin bin. Second tackle. I'm back. My bad about the spelling mistake. No, it is what it is, man. It's all good. Go out to Sorensen. In regards to the Storm, no, that's just like an individual thing that we have here. It's the only team that doesn't have a plural, so we enforce it. Edwards, he'll be at the 50. Can't get the offload away. 45 out, fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. Now they go to Scotty Sorensen, and he'll have a bit of a lackluster run at the 40. Can he get the offload away? Tried to. Couldn't do it, though. Shout out the Uzbek viewers in the chat. We do have Uzbek viewers from time to time. And they'll kick this ball in the corner. Mr. Man who doesn't care, back in the chat. Talking about mentally weak. I think the person who's creating like 10 fake accounts to get into a chat that doesn't care about it sounds pretty weird to me. Oh, boy. Oh, no. He's still going, lads. Jay, you really know how to bring him out, mate. You really do know how to bring him out. You don't care about our feelings? We just don't care at all, man. So first tackle here for the Eels at the 20. You can see we're really rattled, mate. I don't know how I'm going to go to sleep tonight because of you. So Adokar, he's going to be at the 30, and it'll be second tackle. I'm having a join for the Panthers if Panthers pass 40+. Well, don't say in 2 comments, I'm going to church from tomorrow, and then talk about having a joint for the Panthers. Gee whiz. So, second tackle here. Come on, man. And the Eels will be at the 40 on third tackle, now at the 45. And Mitch Kenny is back on the field. They give it to Kitiana Kautonga, and now he'll be at the 50. Oh, good run here. He'll get to the 40. 4 tackle. Kautonga rolls it back. Talon the Silva off to, oh no, nearly a knock on there for Paulo, but they do get it to Moses. Moses steps in the inside. He's away here, taken down to the 30. Half of a line break just then. 5th tackle at the 30, and Josh Papali. That's to the 5. No real chase here from the Eels though. And Jack Williams will get the tackle at the 3. Is Kenny a boxer? What's with the ear every week? Well, he's just protecting the cauliflower ear, I guess. Tom Jenkins to the 10. Your late mate Patton's been smoking on that para pack since the 2nd minute. That is true, but the Panthers now at the 23rd tackle. Mitch Kenny off to Paul Alamotti. And Alamotti will be at the 30 on 4th tackle. Oh, that's Brian Toto, sorry. He'll be at the 30. Now Mitch Kenny across to Lindsay Smith. And Lindsay Smith will be at the 35 on 5th tackle. Not an amazing set there for the Panthers. But Cleary with a strong kick. 40-20 attempt here. Oh my God. It wasn't going to be a 40-20. Why has he knocked that over the sideline? Why has he knocked this over the sideline? It wasn't going to be a 40-20. Joash Papali has just knocked this ball over the sideline thinking it was going to be a 40-20 when it was going to be about 3 metres short. Oh no, dude. No. That wasn't going to be a 40-20 and he's knocked it dead. Oh, you are kidding. That is a bad mistake there, man. Nathan Cleary gets a good one, but he shouldn't have. It was a good kick anyway, but it wasn't going to be a 40-20 there, champion. All right, so the Panthers are 13 metres away here from the line. They give it to Lindsay Smith, and Lindsay Smith is 2nd tackle up the 10. Cleary, in fact, he got to him. Yeah, it was 3 metres away from going over for a 40-20. He still did that. Out of the left to Nathan Cleary, then on to Isaiah Papali'i. He'll get this ball to the 8. Would love a Brian Tutt will try for my Supercoach right now. Cleary assist too. It'd be beautiful. Mitch Kenny out to Cleary. Cleary kicks his ball through and try time for the Panthers. It is Paul Adamotti. Cleary try assist. And it's 34 points to 8 with a kick to come. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes and in the waters. Yeah, no waters happening today. Hara Eels no go. Hara Eels no go. Yeah, 4 try assists for the man. Exactly right, Blake. Love captaining him on Supercoach this week. But the waters, they're not watering. The Atlantic Ocean is drying up here, Hara. They're drying up. And that all comes off the back of that mistake from Josh Papali'i trying to knock that ball back in when it wasn't going to be 40-20. And a couple plays later, the Panthers do them in. Do them in. Well. Cleary is about to go over the 100 mark already with 25 minutes to go in Supercoach. He just threw the ball out of the water. No more water. The water is dried up here in the Atlantic Ocean. All right. I was actually looking forward to this game. Disappointed after 5 minutes. Yeah, but were you looking forward to what were you looking forward to this game on the basis of? Because is it because of the misconception that Parramatta are the bogey team when they're not a bogey team for Penrith? I'm not blaming you for it, but there is a large amount of people who think Parramatta are the Penrith bogey team when they haven't beaten them since 2023. Joshua says, I think Milky is better for strong defensive games where we'll get the kicks. It hasn't been a need to spread far left on the line this game. Yeah, well, both wingers haven't scored yet. Thomas Jenkins or Brian Toto, they haven't needed them just at the moment. Blake says, praying for Cleary not to get injured and maybe he can finally win a Dally M. Yeah, well, he's lucky they're not going to get him for that pre-season suspension. they're lucky. But Cleary, from right in front to make it a 36 points to 8 game. The feeder bomb is still on here, baby. Still on. And they will get the kick. So it is 36 points to 8 with 24 minutes to go of the game. It's Tanis Dally M. Yeah, look, Tan didn't have an amazing game yesterday, but he also wasn't their worst, that's for sure. He wasn't their worst. 36 points to 8. Big old yikes here. Parramatta. Big old yikes. You don't want to give up 2 Fetty bombs in the first 4 weeks. Yikes. Parramatta River Lemonade is not being drinked by the local tonight. You're not being Englished by the English tonight. So the Panthers will grab this ball at the 5 through Dylan Edwards. They give it off to Lindsay Smith, and he brings it out to the 15. Yeah, no, the English are not really in power there with lag and ball sacks there, Jay. Big Homie Dave, that's a penalty for the Panthers again. Penalty come off their own line. Big Homie Dave says, as someone who made that statement about Para being the bogey team, I'd like this to apologise on behalf of everyone who believed this absolute drivel. But again, like, I get it, because in recent, maybe because in recent years they've pushed them close and they've pushed them real tight in a couple of those games. But there also has been a couple of blowouts, now including this one. I can understand that maybe there would have been that thought process based off of they used to be a bit of a bogey team for Penrith, and then recently haven't, but maybe you just still got that connection because it was a couple of close games there as well. So I don't blame you, but that's what I do here on this channel. Like, I will tell you, like, sometimes I can be wrong. I'm not wrong on this one, but you get to hear why they're not the bogey team here. Seb says, how's that preseason trophy looking? Not looking very preseason trophy right now. Not looking very unbelievable. But then again, Parramatta came first, Titans came second, and now they both go. So Mitch Kenny off to Cleary. Cleary short ball to the line to Luke Garner. He's at 25. I think that's his first touch of the ball. Mitch Kenny, they go right. That's going to be going up in the middle. Panthers can't even get there. I think that's knocked back here for the Panthers. It's still last, yeah. It's Alamotti. He gets the off all the way to Edwards. Oh no, they could still get something here. Papali'i gets it, gives it off to... Oh, they could still score here. Casey McLean. Thomas Jenkins with the try time! Bang! Oh, it comes... they might come back and look and see maybe a knock-on earlier on, but Jenkins has scored for now. And there you go, Joel. 40 points to 8 with the kick to come. Come on to Fetty. Can we see 2 Fetty bombs against the Parramatta Eels in the first 4 weeks? I just want to see the early ball here to see if there's a knock-on from the Panthers first, because it was a bit awkward. So, yeah, Joel, just be careful about celebrating too early here. Wait for the try confirmed. But that was a great pass across from Edwards to Papali'i. Then he quick passes it off. And then at the 20... And then Jenkins just steps inside 2 players. And it's another try. Jenkins now has 9 tries for the seasons, provided this is confirmed. But that is amazing there from Papali'i to flick that ball back. And then I think is that Billy Phillips. Billy Phillips then gets the ball and just holds it together nicely for Mitchell Moses to bite in on him. And then Casey McLean's away and gets it to Jenkins. But again, I would like to see the early play here. I would. I think they're going to call it a confirmed try because they haven't even shown us the ball up in the air. 20 minutes to go the game here, folks. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. We've got Cowboys versus Storm right after this. Big homie Dave, appreciate you for joining up as a member, man. Get around here, son. Appreciate the support. And it is try confirmed for you there, Joel. So that is a try for Thomas Jenkins. But get around here as a member, Big homie Dave. Blake says, Jenkins and Alamotti in my multi. Love that. Yeah, good stuff. So most tries after 4 rounds. Jack Lindwall for the St. George in 1947 had 10. Jenkins is second right now in 2026 for the Panthers with 9. And Cleary gets the conversion, so it is 42 points to 8 with 20 minutes to go. The Fetty Bomber is on. The Fetty Bomber is on. Wow, Cleary is on 102 points on Supercoach now. Huge, baby. Huge, baby. Huge. That is massive. That is massive. 42 to 8. Parramatta getting a slap up. They're getting slapped. Became a member so I can press the Fetty Bomb. Yeah, well, that's a good point. Yeah, if you want to drop the Fetty Bomb gift as a member, guys, it's only $5 to support the channel. And we all know you can only use a certain gift of the Fetty Bomb gift when the 50 gets hit. If you do it beforehand, you get timed out. You have to wait until the moment happens. But it's only for the members. So there's 8 points to get to that marker. They go to the left-hand side, the Luke Garner. And sometimes we do get a huge blue ball. I think the Panthers have done it to us as well. Okay, Garner's boot's been taken off there. Second tackle at 25, and now Billy Phillips to the 30 on third tackle. Seb says, can you win the comp if you give up 250s? Would they then cancel each other out asking for our mate Entertain House? Yeah, no, Entertain House is in a shambles right now, mate. He's in an absolute shambles. Don't know if they can win a comp from you, Parramatta. Not sure. Not giving up this many points in the first 4 rounds. It's Casey McLean to Dylan Edwards. And they'll be taken down now at the 40. And Jenkins on fifth tackle. Nathan Cleary with a high boot up in the air. The chase is pretty good here from the Panthers, but the Eels will get it through Josh Papali, and he'll be at the 15. 192 watching, give her a like, helps the channel out, exactly right. Richard says, Ryan Pappenhausen, little mum and little puppy, is a golf caddy, and Kieran Foran is an NRL coach. Yep. Wrote a random comment, though. These jerseys are sexual. Looks like the kit Penrith lost the 04 prelim to the Dogs in. Oh, Daz. Well, there's only one team on fraud alert right now. It might be that same team you just referenced. I had Boyd as my cap. Ooh, that one didn't really work out. Did he have a good game? Did he have good points? I can't remember. I'm happy with Cleary as my cap, but I don't know if Tan would have got too many points in this game, did he? Well, contacted a mate in Oz about this game. His answer was, get fucked, Sean, not very nice. Eels fan, no sense of humour. I don't know if many Eels fans are going to have too much of a sense of humour with this game, losing to their biggest, well, not their biggest rivals, but their local rivals anyway. Case McLean's still going here. He hasn't been tackled yet. He'll be at the 45 on second tackle. Eels fans, I don't know if they'll be too happy with this one, Sean. Gareth, g'day everyone. How you all doing this weekend? Blaze, good to see you again. Mate, get around you. Appreciate for tuning in, guys. Unfortunately, Manly, they're in a bit of a shocker, aren't they, right now? But they did sack their coach. Anthony Seibold is gone, so hopefully they can try and turn around a little bit. But they go out to the right. Oh, Blaze Salungi, that is absolutely awful. That was absolutely horrific from Blaze Salungi. It's going to be a try for Parramatta. Blaze, it's an offside penalty. He's very lucky there, Blaze Salungi. He's offside. It's going to be a penalty to the Panthers, apparently. Oh, no, that was so bad from Blaze Salungi. That is so bad, but they're very lucky here, the Panthers, that Adokar is offside. They're all offside on that left-hand edge for the Eels. They're all offside. That was so poor of a pass from Blaze Salungi regardless. Eels are 15 games ahead in the head-to-head against the Panthers. Yeah, that's fantastic, but that's also history where, you know, the Panthers have had some tough years, but also the more successful team across history now is the Panthers. They went through some lean years, but Parramatta, their last non-lean years was to the 1980s. Second time he's done that this game. Yeah, Blake, he's been... I haven't really rated Blaze Salungi through the first 4 games. I thought this was going to be his breakout year. But so far, it's not looking spectacular from him, and yet the Panthers are looking so dominant. If he can find his form, this Panthers team will be unstoppable. But unfortunately, their 6 is kind of letting them down at the moment. All right, 20 metres away from the line, Mitch Kenny. He'll go to... I don't even know. This is number 19 here for the Panthers. Mitch Kenny out to Nathan Cleary. Cleary steps, and he will get taken down at the 10 on third tackle. So 17 minutes to go here. They go out to the number 19 for the Panthers. Short. Oh, they're 5 metres away. Who is this number 19 for the Panthers? It is... Freddie Lussick. Okay. Freddie Lussick also played for Para. Out of the right, Dylan Edwards. Edwards goes at himself. He's 5 metres away from the line. Oh, he's lost the ball. Oh, Edwards is saying to challenge this. He's saying... I think this is a one-on-one anyway, though. Edwards is saying to challenge this, but I think it was a one-on-one regardless, so it should just be Eelsville anyway. Yeah, it's a one-on-one regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. We have this match in the Cowboys versus Storm on here today in the UK. I'm so sorry to hear. I'm so sorry. Do you have any of the games tomorrow? Titans Dragons, or do you have Raiders Sharks? You'd probably prefer that Raiders Sharks game. So last year when I wanted us to be on fraud alert, it's a penalty to the Eels. When I wanted us to be on fraud alert and it made sense, it didn't make sense. You didn't do it. Now when it doesn't make sense, it definitely does make sense. You put us on fraud alert, dear me. Absolutely makes sense right now. Didn't make sense when you were talking about it. Dogs fans on my Instagram have been messaging me saying, make it bigger. Make it bigger on the screen is what they've messaged me. So the Eels bring it to the 45. We could see 2 50 burgers in back-to-back games tonight. Potential. We also thought that from the Wires of the Tigers, though. That obviously didn't happen. Second tackle in for the Eels at the 42. Charles says, looking on the bright side, Parramatta scored more points on Panthers than any other team. Yeah, well, technically true, but also, yikes. You've also given up more points to the Panthers than any other team. But technically true. Sorry to break your heart. Eels now at the 20 on fifth tackle. Still 15 minutes left here in this game. They give it to Moses. Moses cuts it across to Pezzett, and Pezzett puts that ball up here for Brian Adokar. And I think that's a knock-on from To'o, maybe. No, Penrith ball knock on off of Addo-Carr, they're saying. Okay. Does this pity bomb cancel out the other one in round 1, or does it carry on to next season? Carries on for the rest of eternity. That's what it does. Royal Grand Majesty says Panthers were a man down when Eels scored their second try, though. That is correct, yeah. But either way, who cares if they're 13 men down, 1 man down, or full strength? Doesn't matter. Scoring a try. If I was winning 42-8, I'd tell this ranking 8 shit as well. Jeez. Oh no, Matt Dory's grabbing at his knee. God bless him, man. You hate to see this, and he is really grabbing at that left knee. He looks really disappointed, and when you can see the player's face, sometimes they show they're not too worried. That showed worry. God bless him. 29 beers and a dodgy kebab sounds like a band name. Oh, dogs played like 29 beers in them. Yeah, dogs were not great. Not fantastic. So 14 minutes left here. Matt Dury's still down on the ground. In 23 minutes' time, we'll be live for that next game, Cowboy Storm. Jim Jam, looking forward to seeing your name in the green, brother, after this game. Join us. Yeah, well, right now it would be, I gave him a plus 14.5 start. So right now it's currently 42 to 22.5, Jim Jam. You're going to need a miracle here from Parramatta. Otherwise, we'll be seeing you as a member. Can Eels fans just accept the fact that they are shit? What are all these excuses in the chat? Oh, well, Eels fans, that's a Bulldogs fan for you. You do with that as you will. Dazmate says, can you put Broncos on scam at the pure fact that stupid new pre-game tradition, it's not as bad as the San Antonio Sperms using the Viking clap, but still stupid? What pre-game tradition are the Broncos? I am currently in Thailand, in Bangkok, Gary. I'm in Bangkok. Got a beautiful view up here. Actually, you know, it's funny. I've got a Great Britain UK flag on like a chair sitting right over there. So you'd love that as an Englishman. It's a pretty comfy chair too. But no, I'm here in a beautiful view of Bangkok and up high, flying, living it up. Great internet, great room, and there's a pool and a gym here. And yeah, we're flying, mate. So it's good being able to travel around the world and still be able to live my passion watching the sport that I love. Nathan Cleary underneath to Luke Garner, and Garner will be at the 40. So we're in Bangkok, son. Can you still get weed in Thailand? Yes, Metcalf. Every corner. Yeah, absolutely. I know that the rules are... that's a decent enough kick there from Cleary. He goes around 25 and slows down the play. But I know the rules are adjusting, but also, you know Asia, man. If you've been here before, you know Asia. And it's like rules are there, but are they there? You know, to answer your question. They're there, but are they actually there? I don't know. Eels now will be at the 30 through Bailey Simonson on first tackle. They're there, but I'm not too sure how much they actually are there. Damn, Cleary now on 110. Hello. So I need, provided there's no more points from these guys today, even though there's quite a few minutes left, I've got Munster, Hudson Young, Corey Horsburgh, and Counter Kinney. I'm down 656 to 444 right now. We have a different, yeah. So I hope that they can come home like a train. But I've still got Cleary, Leota, and Brian Tuttle in this game. I don't think Leota is back on the field. So Eels are at the 40. Moses gives it off, and they'll be at the 30 on fifth tackle. Nintendo says, if no one is enforcing the rules, are they really rules? Mate, the more you travel, the more you realise that rules aren't necessarily as much of a rule as you think, really. That's going to be bounced back here for Parramatta, and they've got Addo-Carr. He kicks it through, and that will be Edwards who picks it up. They're going to actually get a drop out of this. Yeah, they're going to drop out of it. They're not rules, more like suggestions. Correct. Or it's more like ways to extort tourists if you get caught. That's pretty much what it is. What work do you do to live there? Mate, I am just living life, Barry. I'm living life. Clyde says, hate the Broncos. Yeah, really random, though. Where did the Broncos come into this? Looking on the larger screen, is that a brick detail that steps out or poor bricklaying? No, this is... I think that's just fake bricks, bro. Oh, no! Junior Bolo drops it, but it goes backwards, luckily enough for him. And he'll bring it now to the 40 on first tackle. Imagine if Addo-Carr was still playing with the Storm. No. How about that? How about my response to that being no? There could be about to be a first on the channel for me. First on the channel for you? What do you mean, Seb? Out to the right, Kelma Tuolangi. At least he's up and firing, considering he was injured before. It's AI bricks just like Blaze AI. I am AI. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep, beep. How would you know? How would you know if I'm AI or not? That's the thing. That is the thing. I could be AI. We all could be AI. 4 tackle now. Go down the conspiracy route. So out to the left, trying to Peasant, short ball, back to Peasant. Peasant is going to give the ball to Dylan Walker, and the Eels will score. So it's going to be 42-12 here with the kick to come. Eels will get a try. Well, the Fitty bomb might not be likely right now. Jim, exactly right. The try. So now, what is it? 42-26.5. You only need 16 unanswered points here, Jim. 10 minutes to go of the game, though. Hit that like button and subscribe. Sakot Boot says, script in Thailand, script in Australia. You can bring it back. Don't try it without paperwork. Well, I don't smoke. I don't smoke marijuana, so it's not even me. But I just know that there is literally marijuana on every corner, and I'm currently in the Sukhumvit in Bangkok, and like the whole place just smells like marijuana. So, but yeah, I know there's new rules and regulations. I don't smoke weed, but I do know there's new rules and regulations surrounding it, but also rules and regulations. 10 minutes to go here. The game. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Blaze does look like a robot. That's because I am a robot, mate. You just don't know. I've been AI since 2016 when I started this channel. I've been AI the whole time. Even if you've seen me at a Titans game before, that was a glitch in the system. So 42-14 with 10 minutes to go to game. So Eels next 5 at Tigers at home, Titans at home, Bulldogs at home, Manly away, and then Warriors at home. 4 out of their 5 next home games. But again, they don't leave Sydney until round 10 against Cowboys. Surely they get the 50. Well, maybe not, because we'd like to see it. Maybe not. Warning, do not take any advice you see in chat, especially about importing anything. You've been warned. Who's talking about importing anything? I would tell you no if someone said about importing weed. What? No one said anything about importing weed. What are you talking about? It was just a hologram at Titans games. Yeah, exactly right, Ibrahim. So second tackle now for the Parramatta Eels. They're going to hit the ground, and they're going to be at the 10 on second tackle. No Fitty bomb, and they've conceded more points to the Eels than every other game combined. Put the Panthers on fraud alert. Season's over clearly. I nearly want to time you out. Third tackle now for the Eels. No, they get the offload away to Talon the Silver. He'll be at the 15 on third tackle. Dasmate says he does deal it normally in exchange for a zinger box. Dasmate, you still owe me a zinger box. You still owe me a zinger box. Trying to peasant out of car. He might get away here. Oh, he's been tripped up, and that means he can't get away. He'll be at the 35 on fourth tackle. When Eels lose, they lose in terrible fashion. Yeah, well, that is true. Either 52-4 or currently 42-14. And Peasant, that's from inside the 40, but Dylan Edwards will pick it up at the 12. 9.5 minutes left here. Can we see the Fitty bomb get hit again? They get it across to Jenkins. There's going to be space out here. There's going to be space. He gets away from one. And he gets away again, but no one following him up. Panthers at the 35. Get the ball to Brian damn well. Oh, for my super coach, please. Oh, that's a high tackle. No, they don't call it. 42 metres away. Blaze Salangi. He's not been fantastic today. He'll bring the ball to the 45 on the Eels side of the field. We went to the charity match this year. Jared Hayne got the zinger box and said, don't you start me. Dylan Edwards out to Nathan Cleary. Cleary gets it across Alamotti. Alamotti steps in the inside, gets it across to Garner. And Garner pushes off 1, pushes off 2, and then he's taken down at the 40. Fourth tackle. And now Nathan Cleary. And now up to Blaze Salungi to Casey McLean. Casey McLean still going here. He's lost the ball, goes backwards, but the Eels get the ball. Someone says, I wonder if any NRL players watch you. Not on a consistent basis, but there are some. Most of them do know the channel. But a lot of the time, of course, they're not going to immerse themselves in what we talk about here, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of banter and a lot of shit talk, and it's not necessarily for players, but there are some players that do tune in from time to time, yeah. Second tackle now at the Eels at the 40. That's not an assumption, that's a fact as well. Second tackle now at the 40. It must be very difficult to... That's not getting read out in the chat. Now out to the left to Brian Kelly, and they'll be at the 50 on third tackle. Dylan Napa. Third tackle now at the 50. And now fourth tackle for the Eels. At the 40, he's lost the ball, I think. No, he's kept it just. We're not going to go down. I'm not going down an exposing pass, Serpent. And Jack Williams nearly through, but he's taken down fifth tackle at the 25. Tanner Boyd should seen your vids. Mate, I know Tanner. Of course he's seen the vids. What do you mean? Out of the right. And they might score again. No, they've thrown the ball over the sideline. Throwing the ball over the sideline. The Panthers will get it up at the 15. They're going to challenge us here, the Eels. I don't think the Panthers touch it, but the Eels are saying that, oh, maybe that he's been held back. Maybe. Wow, Brian Tott's had a really disappointing game in Supercoach. Considering a team scored 42 and he's only on 21 points. Thankfully, Cleary's really pulled through for me. I don't think so. Like, the ball's well past. The ball is well past him by the time Jenkins contacts him. They're shoulder to shoulder. No, that's completely fine, man. They're questioning Tom Jenkins, but no. No, stop it. That is not... No one's been held back. No, stop it. They're shoulder to shoulder, and then the ball's gone well past him. It's gone well past him. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I'm sorry, you're kidding. That's sad to call that as a penalty. That's sad. They're just calling that as a penalty because the score is what it is. I'm sorry, but there's no way that should have been a penalty. But anyway, it is a penalty to Parramatta here. I can't believe that's a penalty. That is disgraceful. That is just awful bunker of it. That is awful. That is absolutely horrific, dude. It is embarrassing, Daz. That is embarrassing to call that as a penalty. Bet Lomax has tuned in a couple times. I'm sure he has. He did originally. So the Eels now at the 5. First tackle, and Talon De Silva. He will get it out to Dylan Walker. And now the Eels, Jack Williams is 9 metres away from the line. Parra need more points. A smart decision by the NRL. Just an awful decision, though. Joash Papali. He'll be 9 metres away, third tackle. You can see the Panthers, the second half is still not their best half. The first half is clearly still their dominant halves. Jonah Pezzett out the back now to Dylan Walker. Mitchell Moses, quick passing, and they are going to score again here. Oh, he has got it. He has caught it there. It's undeserved. I'll be honest with you from Parramatta. It is undeserved because they shouldn't have had the ball just then. It shouldn't have been a penalty. But at the very minimum, you are going to score a try here through Sean Russell on 42-18. But I will say that you absolutely should not have had the ball in this situation because it absolutely shouldn't have been a penalty to you. But you will be gifted a try by the NRL here. Like, you will just be gifted a try by the NRL. So it is 42-18 here with the kid to come. Looks like he pulls his arm. I completely disagree. There is no way that was a penalty in any world. But Sean Russell does regain possession. He does put that ball down. The try's fine. They just shouldn't have had the ball in the first place. 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Of the game, sorry. 6 minutes to go here in the game. Try confirmed. Can we get try scorers prediction for the next game? I will go Munster. I'm going to go Munster as a 5'8", even though he's not been unbelievable so far this season. I will go... in the forward pack. They will get the key, so it'll be 42-20 with 5.5 minutes to go of the game. Munster and forward pack, I'm going to back in... Like, Sean Bloor is a bit of an obvious... Oh, is Sean Bloor actually back? Not Sean Bloor. I need to have a look at their forward pack again. I am leaning towards just a Tuamata, but you could go Harry Grant straight up in the hooker department. I'm going to go Munster, and I'm going to go with Joe Chan, because he's been on a good try-scoring record this year, but I wouldn't mind a bit of a Tukumanu. For the Cowboys, I don't really like a great deal of scores for them, but I'll back into Scott Drinkwater, because I don't think he scored many tries this year. And then for the Cowboys, I'll back in a... I'll go again with Harlan Lukey. Yeah. No, Bloor isn't black. No, I know. That's why I changed it. All right. So 5.5 minutes to go of the game. And the Panthers will kick this ball off here to the Eels. And Brian Kelly gives it off to Jack Williams, who brings his ball out to the 15. 5:18 to go here. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be seeing a cheeky little footy bomb here. No cheeky little footy bomb. And now the Eels, Mitchell Moses, out to come into a lung. We have been blue balled here today, unfortunately, unless they can get a big swing. Yeah, well, it's currently, 42-34.5 right now. They need 2 more scores in Parramatta, and then Jim Jam gets his plus 14.5. I don't think that's going to happen, though. George Papali'i, taking down Papali, taking up the 45. 4th tackle. Now they go to the right. Talon on the silver off to Dylan Walker. Walker to Mitchell Moses. And off to Sean Russell, and he's lost that ball. He has lost the ball, so it will be Panthers ball at the 50. Well, 50 bomb's still on. If you can score here, still on. Hello. Still on. Still on. Cowgirls will be lucky to score 2 tries tonight. Well, Storm weren't unreal last week. They lost to the Broncos, but also they should really bounce back from that loss to the Broncos last week. Yeah, this game has gone a little bit long, actually. There's not going to be much of a break at all between this and the next. I don't think the Panthers are the best team. I'd give that title to the bunker. I don't know. I think the Panthers are pretty good. First tackle now to 45, but their second halves are still a little bit how you go. It's not been as bad this year as it has been in recent years, but their second halves are still not spectacular as we speak. So the Panthers will go out to the right to Lindsay Smith, then to Moses Leota, and Leota will get the offload away. They go off to the right to Lindsay Smith, Nathan Cleary, he pushes away from 1, and that's close to a high tackle, but they'll beat the 35 on 3rd tackle. They go to Edwards, quick passing. They honestly haven't gotten any ball out to Brian Tittle today. 4th tackle here at the 23. Billy Phillips to Dylan Edwards. Edwards to Nathan Cleary. Cleary gets it into the line there. Oh, that's a high tackle. Well, you've seen his head jolt back. How have they not called that high tackle? Parramatta getting some really beneficial calls in this at the moment. Out to Dylan Edwards. Edwards now kicks that ball through. That's played out there from the Eels, and Moses Leota grabs it. 6 again for the Panthers. They need to try here to potentially see a feedy bomb. They go out to the right to Dylan Edwards. Edwards steps in himself. He'll be 9 metres away from the line. Still 1 to 5 is very inexperienced. Yeah, I agree. But Watchalong has been amazing this season. Nathan Cleary to Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Smith gets the offload away. They go quickly. Comes at the back of Case McLean. Flicks it off again. Jenkins with another try. 46 points to 20. It was a very messy try, but it will be a try nonetheless. Nonetheless, it will be a messy try. 46 points to 20, and the feedy bomb is still on. We've got 2.5 minutes to see potentially 4 points. This is all over the shop, this try, but Lindsay Smith offloads it to Blaze Salongi, then Case McLean picks it up out of nowhere. Zai Papali'i, weird offload, but Thomas Jenkins ends up with it and they get the try. 46 points to 20. I can't believe that they've got this ball out here. This is just all over shop. Papali'i not to knock that ball on is amazing, and then the Case McLean with a great offload there, taking in 2 players. And the Panthers will go in again. They do go in again. So 2.5 minutes left. Can Cleary get the conversion? Then it would just take a 2-pointer. Cleary 2-point field goal would be filthy. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening, but I would love to see it on a feedy bomb. 10 tries is crazy. 10 tries? Oh, yeah, Jenkins got 10 tries. He's just tied the all-time record for most tries in 4 rounds through 1908 to 2026. He has got the equal most tries alongside Jack Lindwall for the Dragons, St. George in 1947, Brett Morris, Phil Blake, Bob Landers, Sid Goodwin, and Vic Farnsworth all on 9 below. But Jenkins, if he could get 1 more try in this last 2.5 minutes, he would break the record. So 10 tries for him through the first 4 rounds. That is pretty spectacular stuff. All right, can Cleary bring this back within 2? Had Jenkins in my Supercoach, thank God. Yeah, that's massive. Nathan Cleary from the left side touchline. In 5 minutes' time, we'll be live for the next game, the final game of the day, which is the Cowboys versus the Storm. And don't forget, we'll be live for Raiders versus Sharks and Titans Dragons tomorrow. And Cleary, as per usual, will get the conversion. So that is 48 points to 20 with 1:55 to go here of the game. 48 points to 20. And it's looking pretty rough here for the Parramatta, but can Panthers get the feedy bomb? Jenkins breaking the NRL record. Anything is possible, folks. We can live on Mars. I think we can live on Pluto at this point. The West is ours is the sign that the Panthers have up in the crowd, and it definitely is as we speak. They have given up a few points here, the Panthers, but the last try come off the back of a pretty dodgy call, in my opinion. So the Eels, they will kick this ball off, and the Panthers will get this ball 3 minutes out from their own line. Moses Leota, big charge back. He's laughing at Santo Evati. That's hilarious. Billy Phillips off to Luke Garner. Do they want the 50? Can they smell the 50 bomb? They're at the 20 on second tackle. This is the highest score Panthers have got this year, but it's also the most they have conceded. And the Panthers will get this 25, third tackle now. Oh, I don't know. They need like a penalty or a 6 again or something to have any chance of a 50 bomb here. They go out to Lindsay Smith, and they don't look like they want it, man. They're not throwing the ball around or anything like that. Fourth tackle. They're going to blue ball us, lads. The blue ball is very heavy at the moment. It's a decent run here from the Panthers, but they'll beat the 44, and they're just going to whack this ball away. Off to Nathan Cleary. He goes for a... Oh, I thought he was going for a 2-point field goal. He faked it off and then kicked it to the 15. He faked off a 2-point field goal and then tried to kick a 40-20. That was funny. Who do you think is most likely to win the next game? Storm by Mozza. First tackle now at the 38. Cowboys should not be winning that game. Second tackle. Second tackle with the Eels at the 38. I have a partner and I am super faithful servant. I will not be partaking in the no blue balls in Bangkok for you, servant. But the Eels, Panthers next 5 is Storm at home, Bulldogs away, Dolphins away. Didn't get to see the next 2 games, but a couple of really tough matchups there with the Panthers coming up, which is very, very needed to see. Eels now at the 44. They go out to the left-hand side, and it's off to Pezzett. Pezzett then to Brian Kelly. Kelly taken down, fifth tackle now at the 33. They've got one more chance here to try and get a consolation. They kick that ball up. What happens here? The Panthers will grab it, and that is the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. 48-20 to the Panthers. They will be on top of the table. Parramatta with a 28-point loss there. You are going to go down into 11th below the Roosters. And no matter what, whoever wins out of the Sharks and the Raiders game, you will go below them. So you'll go into 12th. If the Cowboys beat the Storm, you will go into 13th position. And that is as low as you can go. So the Eels will be at 12th, probably. But 13th if the Cowboys get a surprise win. The Eels are definitely 12. It just depends on who wins Raiders Sharks. And then, yeah, the Cowboys would need to beat the Storm for you to go into 13th. But on the flip side, the Panthers, you are the only team currently with 4 straight wins in the season. The only team to be there. So you're on top of the table. Nothing can change this weekend for you. There we go. But guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Massive day there, and we'll be back for one final game in literally a minute's time for the Cowboys versus the Storm. So thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.